thought you would be like,
Yeah.
I just...
I literally roll from a random location. I've had it where I roll the location that you enter. So it's like, okay, you just follow the one. Oh, by the way, there's a medicine in this room. Roll initiative. Like, what?
All right, so we are streaming. Welcome, everyone, whoever may be watching, to episode 2 of Call of the Void. Let's see, what happened last time? All right, so we have our fifth and final player who's joining us. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Myself, or
both? Well, you can just introduce yourself, and then we'll introduce your character when your character actually joins.
Hi, I'm Maryse. I was doing work stuff last week, so I couldn't be here.
Yeah. And so why don't we just go around the table again, and everybody introduce yourself and your characters that you're playing, just because. Now that we're actually all here at the beginning and can hear.
My name is Houston. I'm playing Skwisgaar, which is a half-elf bard warlock, and I will do some things.
I know I have cheese in my face. I'm Dylan. I'm playing Shard, barbarian warforged, and I guess I'm Skwisgaar's companion robot
and best friend.
Yes, best friend.
Hello, I am David. I'm playing Friar Beglian, the human life cleric, who would much prefer to be drinking than spending my time in the temple. Don't tell Sister Olsine that.
My name is Clyker, and I am playing Farouk, who's currently 2 levels of fighter.
Great. And I am your dungeon master, Zander. Hello. So last week, several people arrived in the frontier town of Haven. At kind of the end of the line of the train. It's the last stop before the true end of the line, which is the railroad camp where it's the rail is continually being built across this valley. Let's see. They arrived. They kind of wandered around town for a bit, ran into a cleric, Friar Beglian, who was trying desperately to get a drink.
Yeah.
And then, as they were being shown around town, they got caught up. The town was attacked a little bit. It was a 2-pronged assault, they realized. From one side of the town that they were on, they were attacked by a small group of bandits. But that was mainly a diversion, as the main attack actually attacked the train and stole the medicine.
Not the medicine, no!
Yes, something like that. And 1 second. Better. Let's see. What else do we need to know? What else happened?
I grabbed a horse with a ghost.
Yes, the gang.
I broke a door.
Oh, yeah, I broke a door.
I stole some sacramental wine.
You severely watered down some sacramental wine after drinking most of it.
And I got the coin I needed.
I dehorsed a couple of guys.
Yes. So, we left off. You were chatting with the severely injured sheriff, who is in no shape to go after bandits. But he has kind of asked that you go after the bandits, and has promised a reward of several hundred gold. Should that,
Because the deputies were fine, right?
well, two of the deputies are still alive. 2 of the other deputies. So there were 4 deputies. Now there are 2 deputies.
There could be more deputies.
Sorry, Sheriff. Sorry, different. Yeah, I was about to do a different character. Sheriff, are we officially deputies for this quest, adventure, encounter?
No, I'm not gonna hire you. I'm just asking you to do a job.
But you're asking us to do a job and paying us to do that.
It's a freelance opportunity.
We can kill people for money?
In this case, not usually, but in this case, yes.
See, basically,
It's a rare circumstance.
So we can kill anybody.
No.
For...
No. You see, you see that you saw that wanted sign.
Yeah.
only people marked wanted, dead, or alive can you kill.
Oh, so if I write wanted on somebody, I can kill them.
On the board.
I'm new to this. I apologize.
He must be messing with me. I trust this boy ain't that dumb.
He's very ignorant. He doesn't know things, says the Warforged.
So basically, we don't need no stinking badges.
What?
No, you don't.
But can we get them?
No.
Oh, good. Cool. I have 2 badges.
Now, unfortunately, I don't know where they went. I don't know where they've got a hideout somewhere. We believe they got a hideout somewhere in the Badlands up north, but we don't know exactly where. And well, I'm hoping that you guys can track down where they are.
Like I said 5 minutes ago in game time, do you have anybody who can track this area, who knows this area like the back of their hand?
Well, if you're looking.
Sorry.
If you're looking for someone who knows the area, I would recommend heading over to the lodge. It's a hunter's lodge. A lot of people like to hang out there who, trappers and rangers and hunters and that sort of thing. I'd recommend heading there.
Alrighty then.
But do you know the best? The very best?
And no one
That we
ever
should
was.
ask for by name.
The question is not so much right now about who's the best, it's actually who's actually in town.
That is also good.
See, it doesn't matter if the best is out there and isn't going to be back for 3 weeks.
So we need to do this now.
Don't you
Yes.
worry, Sheriff.
We don't get that
I'll
medicine
take 'em
back.
over to the Emberheart. If you're looking for trackers, the Emberheart Lodge is where you want to go.
Yeah, that's it. That's right. He knows the place.
Okay. I go there.
To the
I'll
plot!
lead them over to the Emberheart Lodge, kind of in the middle of the group, kind of keeping out of sight.
As we're leading, I'll pull the wanted sign off of the wall so we can keep it for reference.
Okay, good. So you take him over to the Emberheart Lodge, which it's one of the oldest buildings in town. In fact, it was kind of the first building when this place was just a slayover point for just the trappers and just the rough, very very rough. Before any civilization was in this area at all, this building was here. But as you can kind of approach it, you can see that it's undergone some upgrades. Like, it's a little bit of a hodgepodge building. Pieces have been added on. It's obviously the back wall was knocked down at some point and it was extended quite a bit.
Did it make it a more open concept? You take out the back wall, make it more open concept so the living room and the kitchen can be kind of together?
Well, as you go inside, you do notice that the main portion of the building is one large hall with kind of some side alcoves and what looks to be a couple kind of rooms in the back. I'm not sure what that is. And a small little kitchen area. And on the top, around there, you see around the walls there are several heads. They're like mounted heads of some like deer, some elk, a very large, wild cow-looking thing, but more fierce than cow, like bull, but with wild matted hair and kind of very, very fierce looking and large, huge horns. And you see, like 2 people in there. One of them seems to be a human, just kind of lounging by the fire, seems to be skinning something. And you also see a halfling. Would you care to describe your character?
A little bit younger than most that you would see in the Emberheart Lodge. Probably green around the edges, but not nearly as green as her cloak. And her hair's it looks a little red for whatever reason. But it doesn't look like it's naturally that way.
So, as you're, sitting there enjoying whatever post-hunting activities you enjoy, a large troop just kind of like the doors swing open, and you look over and you see a half elf and a human And what really catches your attention is this. At first, you think it might be a person in a full armor. But after a moment, you realize, no, something weird's going on here. That's just not a suit of armor. That seems more like a mechanical person.
I look over, kind of do this, like, just not even like noticeably look over, but I just look over, like, that looks fun.
How many people are here, like in the lodge outside of her?
So there's just like your group and her and one other person.
We are looking for someone to go in the woods with us to hunt down some people.
I know the woods.
Anyone.
I know the woods.
I rolled a 6 on my perception. Anyone.
Don't make me stand up from this table and stand on it.
We couldn't tell.
Also among them, you recognize the local friar who, you've probably... I don't know how your character feels about religion, but, if you ever attended the Sunday,
whatever
gathering.
Friar, I don't think you really believe much of that.
You know the woods, my dear, correct?
Yes. I spent most of my childhood there.
I'm drawing a blank on the name. Forgive me. It's been a rough morning.
Oh, Illian.
Illian. Yes. How's your mom and them?
Oh, Mom, Pa are doing great. Busy as usual.
All right. Well, these fine folk are looking for a guide to take them. I think they were going to be pursuing some bounty or whatnot for the sheriff. And
ooh, that sounds much more exciting than hunting a bear.
A bear?
Yeah.
Where?
In the woods.
There.
Hey, did you kill that Calican thing on the wall?
No.
Oh, what is it?
Not quite sure.
You would be aware that would be actually called. Let me double check the pronunciation of the name.
Auroch, I think, or something.
Yes.
Like that? Yeah.
It is an Auroch.
Aura. It's an aura.
Just spoiling my joke.
Wasn't me. Some fancier big shot. Little gray around the edges, kind of.
Does it taste good?
I have no idea. I was killed when I was very young.
Okay.
They are prized for their pelts,
Huh?
and their meat is tasty. Some prefer it to herd cattle. Some don't. Some think it's too tough.
So, when do we leave?
What time of day is it?
It is. Let me think. So it's still the same day that you all showed up.
It feels like it's been a week, but it's only been like 2 minutes?
Yeah. Seriously, that's how this goes.
Little altercation in the streets.
we were having dinner.
So we're having lunch. So it's probably early evening by this
5
point.
or 6.
Yeah, about there. So it's getting towards evening.
What is it?
So, Illian,
Yes.
it appears that a trip to the Badlands to the north is in order.
Okay.
Tell us about how long it would take to get there, and maybe anything important along the way.
Well, kind of depends how far into the Badlands you want. These ruffians you're looking for, they might be a little bit in there. How far is the Badlands?
One interesting thing you'd note is that's the opposite direction of the forest.
Yeah.
Well, you're not sure exactly how to. There are a lot of ravines and mountainous areas and kind of Badlands terrain, and if you don't know where you're going, you can spend quite a long time just wandering through. But if you're going to a specific spot, you could take a couple days is not an unreasonable trip, like two days.
Have you been to the Badlands?
Off and on. Occasionally. I don't go too far in. There's usually not much to hunt out there.
Was Illian the human or the half elf?
Halfling.
Halfling, sorry.
Half something.
And there was another human that was skinning something, right?
Yeah. He's just kind of listening in the corner.
I'll lean over to Skwisgaar and maybe we should talk to the human.
Yeah. This one doesn't seem to know what's up.
Can I roll a perception check?
What are you looking for?
I want to know what they're saying.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It wasn't that quiet.
I hear nothing.
So the other human is also female, and I forget if I said a gender before, but no, now it's canon, female. Kind of sitting over there, and let me actually find her. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, so she's just kind of watching as she's skinning.
Do you know who she is?
Elise.
That's Elise. She just got back.
From the Badlands?
Where's she skinning?
As she looks at her like, sorry, I'll just tell you right now, if you're looking for a guide, I won't be able to help you. She turns over and kind of hops up a leg, and you can see there's a freshly wrapped wound on her leg. It's like, it's going to be a while before I can head out again. That damn griffin did a number on me.
Well, we're definitely scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
Guess you're stuck with me.
There is no better. She may be young, but she knows her stuff.
Other than the Badlands.
Well, I don't know why I thought we were pursuing Grumar in the forests. I wasn't sure that we were going to Badlands. However, regardless, I have to get back and clean the vestibules. Sister Olsen will skin me if I let them stay in their state. So I make my excuses, and we'll meet you back at the Lazy Current whenever you get everything settled.
Yeah, there's not lodging here, is there?
This is more of a small lodgings for those who are a member of the. So
You've already procured lodgings.
Yes, Lazy Current it is.
Well, what is your gentleman's name as I look at the Warforged? Gentleman, right?
He's got a name. Well, he's got a whole personality.
I do. My name's Shard, by the way.
Hello, Shard.
Yes.
Oh, I suppose none of us have introduced ourselves.
Yes.
No.
I'm Skwisgaar.
Skwisgaar and
Farouk.
Farouk.
Charmed, I'm sure.
No, not really.
That's not how it works, but that's alright.
I'm sorry. If you're going to have you help us track down, do we need to pay you or something? I do have
Yes.
money.
Paying would be great.
Sure. I'll give you two.
Whatever the reward
am I
split
not
for
supposed
hunting
to
this
pay
bounty
people that are
is.
helping us?
So remember, we were being paid by somebody else to do this, so we can kind of cut them in.
But you were holding my money.
No. So, but the sheriff was going to pay us to do this thing. So from that money, we do the payment to her and to us. But
All
your
right.
money,
Oh, the old sheriff put you up to this. Okay.
yes.
Okay.
That
You get
is-
money for him.
He's a strange one.
Well,
Sheriff or that
somebody
one?
shot him. And
But-
they shot the deputies.
Yeah. That's a
Oh.
tragedy.
Shot the sheriff.
I've heard a little bit about that. Not much yet, though.
From a barge.
Yes, that's about it. So, when were you looking to leave? Probably shouldn't do it tonight, but if we set up at dawn tomorrow, we can make some pretty decent headway.
Sounds fair.
Sounds fair. Oh yeah, I forget. You guys have to sleep. I always forget that.
Do you not have to sleep?
I kind of power down, but I'm just kind of aware of the surroundings.
Power down?
Powering down.
I lean back. Is Shard okay?
Yeah.
he just kind of, just the large thing, just kind of.
No, it's not.
I poke Shard. Does he make like a kind of a metal?
Am I still warm?
Well, you would still be warm, yes.
I'm very warm, surprisingly. Made of metal.
It's better if you don't touch him.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially the funnel that's on top of his head.
My head is very round. I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, so do you want to head back to the Lazy Current
I'm
for the evening?
heading out. See you at dawn at the Lazy Current.
Rest well. You're going to need it.
Do you have a horse to ride?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
No.
Perhaps you should procure one.
That requires money.
And we have really Really working with the B team here.
Oh. Hey, gotta talk to the sheriff.
Okay.
He might have 2 extra horses.
Well, there's 2 deputies who don't need them anymore.
Alright.
I say deputies don't need things, and everyone looks at me all sideways.
Well, it's different if they're just not being used. It's different if they belong to them and you stole them. But no one would steal things. Yeah, like it's not normally a normal person doesn't hurt other people. For example, back in the town we were previously in, there's this big building that caught on fire. And
Sure.
Power
Things
There a button?
things happen.
What did you guys steal?
It's okay.
I performed last rites on the deputies, and they graciously donated what coin they had to the church. Onea's blessings upon them.
If they're dead, how can they donate anything?
They would have wanted that.
I don't know. I've talked to them a couple of times. They're not quite fond of you.
All the more reasons to make amends with the church before their souls drift. Whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Friar Beglian, if you say so.
Yes. So, having encountered a halfling guide and retained her services, you head back to the Lazy Current Inn. And yeah.
How much gold did we get from the last? There was some.
So yeah, he gave out. It was going to be 10 gold each, but then it sounded like.
Oh, that's right. He gave up his share. We just split it down the middle.
Oh, right.
Yes.
So it was.
I didn't give it to
total-
him. He's just holding on to my money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I,
For
yes.
future.
Yes. At some point I'll receive it when I need it. Yes, when I
Yes.
need it.
That is the time.
When is the
So
time?
what was that amount?
20 each, I think.
I have 34 right now.
Okay,
so
so
yeah,
20.
that checks out.
I have enough for my purposes.
Well, for our purposes, if we play cards tonight.
Possibly.
I'm gonna go buying a horse. Probably can't afford one, and I can't take one from Mom and Pa because they all need them. But I'll go talk to the sheriff.
Yeah, so the sheriff, you go talk to the sheriff, and he, yeah. So you got roped into them, following them to go after these guys.
Well, technically, they're following me. But yes, sure. It
Yeah,
sounds like an adventure. Just don't tell Mom and Pa until after I leave tomorrow.
definitely. Be safe, or I'm gonna catch hell.
Oh yes, I know. I'll be fine. Nothing ever really bad happens to me.
Yeah, sure. Here, well, yeah. See you, cousin.
See ya.
Sure, yeah, and you can have a horse.
Thank you.
So on the way back to the Lazy Current, I'll stop by our friendly dwarven stable keep and inform him that I would like my horse prepped and ready to go at dawn tomorrow.
So as you walk up to the sheriff, you walk up to his stables, you hear a bit of a shout come from, "Right, you bastard, okay, now you're gonna tell me, what the bloody hell did you think you're doing trying to set fire to my place?" And you hear from inside, it's like, "Sorry, please, no, please, I'm sorry, okay, I'm sorry, I know, it was stupid of us."
Oh yeah, we left one alive.
There is that.
And as you walk up, you see the elf and the dwarf are both standing over the bruised and bloodied, but now currently conscious thug who has been securely tied up and is kind of on the floor of one of the stalls, as the two of them seem to be kind of poking and prodding him. And one of them turns around and is like, "Oh, there you are. It's been a while. Where'd you go? We still got to take care of this guy."
Have you learned anything from him?
Not much. The bastard is just sitting there driveling and sniveling and blubbering. I think we should take him down to the sheriff and just, I'm sure the sheriff would agree. We just kind of, grab a tree. There's a tree outside and some rope, and then just pull.
I
Oh,
think,
please,
I
oh,
think we can
please.
take care of that right now. And he just pulls a scimitar and says,
Please,
if,
what?
if he's of no value to us and he knows nothing, then we have no use
Wait, no,
for him.
man, no, please, man, please. What do you need? What do you? I can do what? Just spare my life, and I can help you out. I can help you out. I swear, I'm sure I can.
He's playing. You're playing bad cop. It sounds like.
Well, just
I would like to
play. Yes.
I said, I've heard about this. I go to him like, don't worry, I won't let him hurt you.
Well, what the hell are you, man? What the hell are you?
That worked.
Just tell us where Grumbo, I don't know, the guy with the half orc with the scar, that your boss.
Grumar?
Yeah, Grumar.
You gonna go after him?
We just want to talk.
Yeah.
Just like now.
So here's the rules.
Gentle caress.
We ask questions. You answer questions. You don't answer them sufficiently, you lose head.
Should I turn on my forge?
Hold on. Remember, you're supposed to be the next one right now.
Oh yeah.
So,
Sorry.
So how far into the Badlands is your camp?
Oh, man, if I tell you, you say you're just gonna talk to him?
Hold on. Rule number 1, no questions. We ask the questions, you provide answers. That sounded like a question.
No, look, you just gotta make sure. If you go after him, you gotta take him down, man. If I help you, and you don't finish him, and he gets word that I helped you, it's gonna be hell to pay for me.
As far as he
So
knows,
I might as well
you're
you-
dead. And at the end of this conversation, should we feel like we've been sufficiently enlightened, we'll let you go. You can disappear into the darkness. No harm, no foul.
Okay, man. Yeah. Look. They're only about 2 days ride from here. A day into the caves. You kind of into the Badlands. You follow the Cripple Creek up there, and then right where you'll see a big tree, a grand old big tree. It's like the only tree around, and you follow the left path down the canyon there, and at the end of the canyon, that's where it'll be. Okay.
How many people are there in your gang?
Well, I don't know how many did you kill?
Everyone
3,
but you.
potentially 4.
Okay. I think there should be Grumar himself, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think if I sorry, my hands are tied, and I was never very very good with counting without my fingers.
Well, if you're wrong, you won't need them.
Oh no, I need my fingers.
No, but you won't.
But what's a man gonna do without his fingers?
Well, can't you
That's
just
what
get
it was
new ones?
We'll talk about that later. Yes, but no.
Okay. What else do you need to know? I mean, I told you where they are.
What's your favorite color?
How does it? It's yellow.
Okay, and
I suppose.
What is your boss's main weakness?
Boss's main weakness? He's a strong guy. I mean, he doesn't exactly have like a particular weakness. I mean, but he just bleeds like any other folk.
That'll work.
How well armed are the 7 individuals there?
Well, I mean, not particularly well. I mean, they don't got guns or anything, if that's what you're asking.
Are any of them practitioners of the arcane arts?
No, we don't got anybody like that.
It is surprising when you get like a bit of like this understanding. I will let one of your arms go. I hand him a piece of chalk. I get a piece of wood. Please draw out your map. Identify all entrances and potential exits and any fortifications that you have. And I basically ask him to draw the map of your bandit camp. Is essentially what I'm telling my identify exits, any potential vantage points, any flanking points that you are aware of, any places that you know that are structural weaknesses that we could potentially exploit.
Okay, sure. So what he describes is a narrow canyon, and at the end of that canyon, about partway up a little bit of a slope, is a cave. So it's natural where they've been staying recently, and where they were planning on meeting up after the after the heist, it is not a man-made fortification, and it doesn't have any man-made fortifications on it. It's just all natural, fairly rocky terrain. He's not that particularly great of an artist, so it's not like...
It's basic shapes. And basically, it's like square equals tent box.
So they stay in the cave and usually have between 1 to 2 lookouts just partway down the canyon, just kind of keeping track.
Is there any way? Is the entrance also the exit? Is there any way out of the cave outside of the way you come in?
No. There's just the one exit, just the front. Just.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Unless he's got some way of. No. Sure. It's just the one entrance. I mean, maybe if you're like, yeah, well, not out of the cave.
How deep does the cave go in?
Oh, not that far. It's only maybe, I don't know, 50, 60 feet in.
Multiple caverns in there?
No, well, just like 2 little ones. The main room and the little alcove out the back.
And when you're not staying here, where do you stay?
Well, we move around frequently. We've got some other encampments around in the Badlands. But that's where he'll be. That's where he'll be this time.
Why don't you ask him to also map out the other encampments, just in case there's some confusion?
That would be a good idea. I'm not familiar with the terrain of this area. Do you mind drawing out the area?
I'm not here.
She's not there.
Oh, you're not there. Sorry. I looked at her. I was like, where'd the ranger go?
That makes him more perceptive, would you?
Sure.
Hit the button on him or turn the dial up that increases his
I've
perception.
been trying for years.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
So anyway, we just ask him to...
Yeah, or I ask if there's a map of the nearby area that I could borrow from the stable person. Like, hey, can he mark? Can we borrow this? Or I was like, I can paint a new copy for you. So,
So yeah, if you the maps that they have of the area, they're fairly kind of crude. It's more of like here's a big forest. Here are the Badlands areas. That's kind of the maps that they really have mapped out. The only areas that they have really well documented and surveyed is the direct path from the entrance on this side of the valley straight across to the other side of the valley, where the train has been built and is being built.
We'll just have him describe it, and with a little luck, or with a lot of luck, our new scout might be able to find them.
Yeah, and I finally say, are there any signals that you give to your teammates to let them know that, hey, it's just me. Don't shoot. Please, don't shoot me. Oh, God. What? Sorry.
Well.
Like a bird tweet or or something like that.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like an owl bear hoot is what we do.
Hoot. Got it. So.
Well, that sounds nothing like it, but...
What does it sound like?
Oh my god. Oh my god, this would be awesome.
This was worth
Where's a Kinko when you need one?
This was worth it.
Yes.
Wait, how? I'm not sure I'm getting that, are you?
No, just one more time.
One more time.
No, I'm sorry.
Because actually those two sounded different, so I'm
Sure.
hoping the third
one was a little more
sync
owl, one was a little more bear.
Right.
And so it's the...
What are you making me do?
Okay, I think we're done.
Oh, we are very much done.
Alright, cool.
What do you think the band will do when you don't return tonight?
Do you think they'll throw stuff around?
Well, I mean, no, they're well, I don't know exactly what they'll do, but they'll probably, they're not going to head out too quickly. If you leave, kind of soon tomorrow morning, you should definitely be able to catch them, I think. But we'll see if we don't show up. Well, I don't know. They'll probably just wait for us a little bit and then move on. we're kind of planning to move on, head out over the plains a bit. I think where we're heading next. You see, the boss had this plan where we were going to steal all the medicine, and then, we were going to sell it back. Well, not all at once, of course, bit by bit, at, ridiculously inflated prices. That was the plan, at least.
So just like the real world. Oh my god. So they successfully got the medicine, right? So, okay. This is just like generic medicine, just like basically a crap ton of healer's kits and stuff like that, or like mundane medicine, not magic medicine.
No, it's the special specific medicine for the madness.
Madness? Is this the first we're hearing this?
Yes.
Oh.
Because you never asked before.
Never asked. Madness? What madness?
The madness at our house.
In the middle of the street?
It's the you haven't heard about it?
No, I have not heard.
It's
about
the mist madness, they call it. It's kind of popular. Well, popular, I say. It's happens around here sometimes to people. It's kind of first off, the eyes get kind of blurry. I mean, their vision gets all blurry, and then if left long enough, they start seeing things. And it's treatable in its early stages. Well, at least it's controllable in its early stages. That's what the medicine's for. But that's all I really know about it. I don't know actually that much about it. Just kind of what I heard.
Strange. Maybe the cleric can help. That's what they do, right? Heal people?
Not in my experience.
I'm not there.
Yeah, I know.
All right, shit. All right.
I plan on sneaking out early morning before the witch gets up, so I can go do what I want to do.
Nice.
One last favor to ask you, good sir.
Yeah, certainly. Anything, man.
Oh, excellent. I appreciate your compliance. I need your clothes.
My clothes.
Yes. You can keep your underwear.
Okay. Can I
Well,
get my?
that sounds like it's about to be a question.
Well, my other hand is still tied up, and it's kind of hard
He'll take
to.
care of it.
So I just want to. I'm not asking a question. I'm pointing out that I can't take my clothes off with my hand still tied.
You don't. He'll take care of
I'll do the thing like probably parents to the kids with that, but actually like potentially hurts them. Is I'm just gonna grab him by his head and just hold him out, like arm out, extended. Your hands are free now.
Is that, what? Wait, what are you doing?
I'm basically picking him up by his head.
His arm's still tied though.
Yeah. You guys untie him. I got him.
Okay, sure.
I got him.
Okay. I'll untie his arm and undress him.
Okay, yeah, you
What do you
get
mean
his
parents
clothes.
do that to their kids?
The thing that the parents actually do is they grab them by the ears and like hold on, and the thing like it makes it look like you're picking them up by their ears, but in actuality the kids are just holding onto your arms. I'm doing that, but he's not holding on.
I never did.
I have a weird childhood.
Let's move on.
Apparently.
Therapy for you, Dylan. Talk this out.
Well, you can, the father is always there for therapy if you need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I was gonna wear his clothes.
Okay. When you take off his clothes, you can actually see this guy is underfed. He's fairly skinny, fairly bony fellow. Yeah, definitely a thin fellow.
Does he have the tattoo that the other people had?
Oh yeah, the crescent mark. Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
On the forearm.
I want to ask the blacksmith if she has any like tracing paper or something. And basically, I want to trace it, and then maybe before we go, like buy some ink or some of that, so we can makeshift tattoos when we get there, just in case I don't know. I assume he's gonna pretend to be abandoned, and he's probably like, "Show me your tattoo." And I'm like, "Oh, it's right there."
That's a good idea.
So tracing paper. No, he
well,
would
it's
not
a
have.
crescent, right?
any-
Yeah. Oh, basically anything, any parchment.
So
any,
when the
is
moon comes up tonight, go ahead and copy that on your hand. Just take a piece of cork, burn it, and it'll make a nice little charcoal.
See, I guess our argument is he has it. I'm gonna pull out a charcoal, which is part of my blacksmithing. My leg, and I'm just gonna draw it on my leg because I made a metal. I'm like, I can maybe make a makeshift one. Just
Okay.
try to memorize it. Try is the keyword.
Okay, sure. So you're drawing it. I would call it a.
I'm proficient in painter's tools.
Okay, make a painter's tools check.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good. What skill?
Oh, just call it intelligence.
Then it is a 9.
Okay.
It's just a.
It's a very simple shape though.
Okay, I just go.
You kind of get the.
It's more of a U than a crescent.
Where did it? There. it is. I'm trying to figure out where I put my dice because I didn't grab them.
Blasphemous.
Found the dice.
Were you playing without dice again?
Yes, giant bag of dice. What?
I said, were you DMing with that dice again, like last week?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it treated you guys well. Yeah. So, anything else you're doing this evening?
So I'm just going to turn back to the dwarf, our stable hand, and say, if you would mind, have my horse ready at sunup. You can do whatever you want with this guy, whatever you want.
Right,
But
certainly.
if you choose to let him go, make sure you don't let him go until after we're gone, at least a few hours.
I was going to take him down to the sheriff's office. So son up, I'll have your horse ready. Anything for you after you guys help save my place.
Thank you.
Make that 2 horses.
Right, yeah, got it.
And then, were we planning on, what were we thinking with the friar? It sounded like he thought he might want to come with us, but I'm not sure he's in on the departure plan.
So early in the morning, I will sneak out from the church, like pre-dawn, and make my way over to the lazy current.
Okay.
Without trying to beat her awake.
Yep. So in that case, then, for the remainder of the evening, I will dine on whatever food they have for dinner, and some hard drink. And if there's anybody who's willing to play cards or otherwise engage in a game of chance, I'm never one to pass that up.
Sure, yeah. So, again, there's chicken, beef, kind of a very similar menu towards what there was for lunch. Kind of similar menus.
Well, then, since it's dinner, I'll have beef.
All right.
Because
That's what's for dinner.
That's three silver for the beef meal.
Wait, where's the beef?
Oh. I guess not. I'll have the cheese and bread again.
Okay.
Also, where's your nearest bathroom?
Oh, let's see, what was that? Oh, the bathroom. The bathroom is upstairs in the back.
Okay.
Oh, the actual bathroom there. I thought you were asking the tavern. Okay. Right there.
he just disappeared from the camera.
Exit stage left.
Yeah.
It's actually camera right. But, oh well.
Which it would be stage left.
You had it right the first time.
Assuming that's a
I
stage.
did theater in high school. I should know this.
We agreed.
Yes.
You should have known it.
Alright. So long rest?
Yes. So you all
Okay.
take a long rest.
How far is the farm from town?
Oh, it's, the closer parts of the farm are only maybe an hour's ride away. Not terribly far. The farther parts, it's more of a hamlet, kind of small town in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
many little halfling, burrows, and yeah.
Okay.
Was I able to scare up any games of chance?
Yeah. So how much? Would you
5 gold pieces.
Five gold pieces.
If they were willing to.
Sure.
gamble that much.
So Meg, do you have any proficiencies in?
Well, that's what I can. Yeah, I do. I have a playing card set.
Proficiency in those playing cards?
How do I know if I do or I don't?
If you were given that tool.
I mean, it's a tool.
It's a tool proficiency. Yeah. So, there are two different things. So you have the tool,
Right.
and then there's like proficiency in gaming sets is a
Yeah.
potential thing that you could have gotten from your background or your. It depends if you chose that.
Yeah, for example, a soldier's background, I think, are automatically proficient at one gaming set of their choice.
Okay.
Same thing
I
as
don't
nobles.
think so, but
And I think charlatans, maybe? Except charlatans might have like a raked deck.
mine is criminal, so I don't know if it does.
Or weighted dice.
Or weighted dice. Or snake oil. Literally snake oil. Yuan-Ti snake oil salesmans. Should be a thing.
Yeah. So tool proficiency is one type of gaming set.
It's tool proficiency, one type of gaming set.
Yes.
So it is proficient. Right?
So you are proficient with your card set. Yeah. So roll a proficiency check with that.
And what is it just against that itself?
So let's do intelligence plus your proficiency modifier.
Okay, that's no good. Yeah, that's gonna go poorly. So the intelligence ability modifier on it, or just the
intelligence ability, the modifier,
okay, -1.
plus your proficiency, which is +2.
Yep. So +1. So I rolled a 2. Adjusted 2.
Yeah. Things. It's not like you're terrible at playing.
Mm-hmm.
You're just having really bad luck tonight.
Perfect.
Everything's going wrong, and you end up losing about maybe like 4 gold.
Okay. I had already written all 5, so that was kind.
Wait, yeah. If you're really willing to bet that, then yeah, 5 gold.
Yeah.
Straight 5 gold. If it was any lower, then maybe you decided to go even farther and went into worse debt.
If you just double down 5 times in a row, you'll make your money back. Science.
Right. So, in the morning,
I'm there.
before the sun is up, before the cock crows, before that terrible Sister Olsine, rises out of her crypt. You sneak out.
Do I need to roll for that? Can I just?
Sure, make a stealth check. Just
Don't botch. Don't botch.
Disadvantage.
He knocks over the sensor.
Oh, yeah.
why is it a disadvantage?
Because of the chainmail.
Oh,
Yeah.
you put on. So you kind of start walking out. You clonk, ching, clonk, clonk, clonk. What in heavens was that sound?
Going to the Brightbottle farm. They need healing. Bye.
But father, dear, there he goes again. What's? Oh, Nea, save me.
The real question, it turns out the sister is actually just a super nice lady. You just can't handle it.
Tries to make me do all those things that I'm supposed to do anyway.
Or help people and be nice and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
Insufferable.
Outside the inn, just
What's
kind
her
of
brand?
waiting on my horse.
Like she's a Mother Teresa.
Yeah, so
She's his Mother Teresa.
She's a nag.
yeah,
Horrible.
so very early, as you're punctual, you're prompt. It's like wake up. You know when you're supposed to wake up. You get over there. You have you collected your horse yesterday, and so you're prepared. As the sun starts to creep over the hills, you two actually end up at the outside tavern, outside the Lazy Current.
You are not the one I expected to be on time.
Never mind. I go in and I will order an ale if I can. It's early and I need my pick me up.
Now, don't you think it's a little early to be getting drunk already, Friar?
You're not going to want to be drinking all
It
that.
depends on your perspective. It's a little late to some, and I will slap the typical price for one mug of ale on the table. I've got coin this time.
4 copper. Oh, Naya save me. Gunk.
I will drink my ale and wait for the rest of the group.
Now I heard that the rest were planning on getting an early start, so I got breakfast ready for them. And so as when you come down,
you
there is
set that down. They'll be here shortly.
there is breakfast waiting for you. As she's been a little protective of it with lays it out when you guys get down there.
I walk in like, hiya.
Oh hey, I don't believe I know you. You've been around. I've seen your face around, but I don't know you. Sorry, I don't know your name.
Oh, I'm Illian.
Illian, are you one of the Brightbottles?
Yes.
Oh. How are they doing? How are they doing?
The same as always. There's a lot of us. They're loud and nosy. Same.
Right. Well, tell them I said hi.
I will. As I watch Father Beglian, like, don't get too drunk. I'll tie you to your horse.
Thank you for ensuring I won't get left behind, dear. If Sister Ocean should ask, I was at the family farm all day. Please.
Okay.
Please.
But this is at least a 2-day trip. Where were you the other couple days?
2 days. That's even better. I'll figure something out. Yeah, I'll figure something out.
I don't know if it'd be a good idea to say you were at the Brightbottle place because they're going to tell the truth.
Oh yeah,
Have asked.
they got a habit of that, don't they?
Yes.
How about this? I went to the place, and then I needed further assistance away from the family farm. It took me out of town for a few days. There, problem solved. Another ale.
So, as
The
you...
eel has scrambled your plan making, but okay.
is there anything you'd like to do before heading out of town?
Buy some extra water sacks.
All right, yeah. So
a couple questions.
Mm-hmm.
Did Alien show up on a horse?
Yes.
Yes. When you go outside, there is a horse that tied up at the hitching post.
What about your friend there? Can he keep up with the horses?
I'm just normal speed, 30 feet, so.
No.
Could we get a cart?
You have a big horse?
Would a cart?
My
What
cart probably will
is
make-
the...
Sure, when we usually travel, I just get put in a box.
Oh yeah.
I'm not carrying no box.
But what's in the box? What's in the box?
The other thing is, I'm assuming the Badlands are going to be sandy. Do we need any lubricant for him?
He loves sand. Turns out, thrives in it. One could say he's proficient in sand.
I am potentially
Yeah.
like a board and it's raised that's molded
Would
by
the
it.
church have like a donkey and cart that they might use to, I don't know, go pick up groceries from the market for the poor?
sick.
Or
No, I don't think that.
okay.
Would a cart even hold him? He's a rather big fellow.
I don't know. I forgot. Oh yeah, I'm only 250 pounds. So.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like 600.
A horse would hold
Yeah.
fine.
It's I have metal plating outside, but interior is not metal plating. It's mixed between organic and other.
A large, if any horse that could hold an armored human
Yeah.
could
Okay.
hold him.
All right.
because he's basically just human.
I mean, we're at the stable.
Human-sized with some armor plating on the outside.
Let me ask the stable guy. Hey, you have any super strong horses that can hold, my friend?
What's going on?
Hey, sorry. Apologize for the early interruption.
Alright, you were supposed to get an early start now. You were trying to get the horses ready.
No,
Alright, I'll have them ready in a jiffy.
So as you're doing that, do you also have any large horses for my friend Shard here?
Something nice and big. How much does he weigh, do you think?
Approximately 250 pounds just by eyeballing him.
Oh, that's not too bad. Right, sure. Well, let's see. We've got whiskey. We've got Norite.
A horse named Whiskey.
You can't drink the horse.
Whiskey, Jack,
Siobhan.
Bourbon, Bailey's, all alcohol.
Whiskey should do ya. Whiskey's a nice, strong horse, like the drink.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Thank you. That was very kind of you to offer to give it to us.
I'll definitely let you borrow it for what you're doing. But I would hope that you'd try to bring it back at least.
Oh yeah, we'll try to bring it back.
Yes.
At least.
I know. It's,
Let's say, look, worst case scenario. I like you, good guy. Let's say whiskey is finished.
Beginning to wonder if
how much does the replacement cost? Hypothetically speaking.
Horse like that, bit spendy, especially around these parts.
right. Well, a good riding horse like Whiskey, I'll run you just purchasing straight up will be 75 gold.
Ooh. Well, again, your generosity for letting us borrow him is immensely appreciated. We'll bring him back, most likely, no problems.
I would appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, pulls out this nice a brown colored horse that's colored very similar to many whiskeys. Right, that'll be whiskey. That'll be able to hold your friend. Right, anything else I can do for you? All right, the other horses. Well, I don't know what their names are because their riders, what.
We could ask the prisoner. Where is he, by the way?
I took him over to the sheriff's office. He's locked up there.
Okay. Good to know.
I think he's still sniveling for his pathetic life.
Prisoner?
I don't think we need to talk to him.
I'm also wearing his clothes now.
we do kind of need to go.
They're actually a little tight on you.
What was
better?
He was a
He's
human,
gonna be
but he was a
narrow,
smaller human,
Gotcha.
kind of smallish. But they fit.
His friends call him Slim. If he had friends.
Well, you could go ask him what his friends call him.
We should go.
Oh, shit. No.
We're burning
That is one
what
of
little
them.
daylight we have
Let's-
today.
All right, I'll double.
To the plot.
That's boo boo.
Right. So, you.
So the friar is Sam's mount.
I'll double up on one of the halflings.
There's only one person.
Okay. I'll ride with you. Or I'll walk. It doesn't matter. As long as we're out of town.
I got a pony you can use.
A pony. Oh, yes. The church. Remember, we're on a mission from God, so...
Right, sure.
Yeah.
What's on his
Thank
sunglasses?
you.
Actually, we're on a mission from the sheriff. But
The sheriff doesn't do anything without the blessings of the church. No, whatever. So, the church would be glad to see that your fees and whatnot are taken care of. So, and I'll just take the money.
that's going to make the sister so mad.
She's always mad.
His name's Bill, by the way.
Bill? Okay.
Bill the pony.
I'll bring Bill back.
What is my horse's name?
What do you want your horse to be named?
Charlie.
Okay, your horse is named Charlie.
Bill and Charlie.
My horse's name? Of course.
It's a horse, of course. It's, of course, the horse, of course.
Yep.
Okay. So, you start out riding north, and you know this area, very quickly, you take one of the paths that kind of meanders northways a little bit, but you don't stay on it too long. Partially because it doesn't go exactly where you're going, and partially because it leads straight to the Brightbottle farm, and you don't want to go there right now. But you're like, hey, I'm heading out of town in that direction. This works.
It does work.
So, as you're kind of going along, the grasslandish area, right? The town is kind of at a meeting point between the mountain, the foothills of the mountains, and more of a grassland area. As you head north, you're still kind of skirting right along the edge of that foothills, but as the day progresses, the short grass prairies kind of stretches off to the west. But over the course of the day, it gets a little bit browner, and maybe a little bit sparser grass, fewer trees, and it's just, seems less healthy. You do, as you're riding along, see several, prairie animals, like small little squirrels and various, and maybe like a herd of deer in the distance. So as you're going along, since you're leading the route, would you like to make a perception check?
Mm-hmm.
And we would have conveyed to Illian all the instructions and everything that the prisoner had given us.
15.
Right. Yeah. So as you're going along, you're able to give, based on their directions, you know how to find the Cripple Creek. It flows into the river that Haven's built on a little ways north of town, and so it's pretty easy to find where it is and start kind of following it along north. And then kind of that day, there's not much terribly of interest that happens as that day kind of comes to a close. The sun kind of goes down behind the western mountains, and it seems like a good place. You find a good place to make camp next to a little grove of trees.
So, despite being away from establishments of a drink and debauchery, the friar is in a rather good mood to be away from town. And when we go to make camp that first night, I will, in Celestial, cast Create Water to water the horses.
Wow, he's casting in Celestial. That's.
I'm pretty happy.
Okay, that's.
I'll also make a small cup of water for myself and put some herbs in there.
Okay, I'm not going to ask what herbs.
Neither am I.
Probably shouldn't.
Yeah. So,
Well, it is Cripple Creek.
We should probably set a watch. Probably won't see those ruffians we're hunting, but there are coyotes about, and we don't want them sneaking up on us. They'd like to get a mite too friendly.
Well, I need my sleep, so I leave that to you. Perhaps stir me early morning, and I suppose I can take the last watch if I must.
Does Shard have to sleep? Period.
It's complicated.
I don't sleep. I just power it down.
Do you have to power down to function correctly in the morning?
That is it.
Powering on.
I am curious of this matter myself.
So wait a minute.
Mechanically, I still have the long crest, but I don't actually.
Whenever somebody
it's kind of
mentions
elf-trance.
power down, or you think about
Power
power down,
down.
yeah, there it is.
Brilliant.
It's like Alexa.
Yeah. It's a clap on.
Right.
Oh,
That would be brilliant.
Warforged equipped with a clapper.
That's fantastic. Essentially.
Yeah. I'm happy to take first watch.
I'll take second.
Okay.
How many watches will there be?
Well, so generally, as it's written in the book, you need a long rest is 8 hours, 6 of which have to be sleep. So generally, you have like 4 watches. Generally.
Does he make a good
I can do the first
stove?
two.
Camp stove?
Right.
Perhaps?
That's a half hour.
Don't ask me.
I need like half sleep.
I believe A half elf does not get the elven. You have to be a full elf to have this
Gotcha.
benefits.
You're choosing
So the
your
question wasn't answered. Is Shard able to just?
No, he still needs
Does
a
he
long
need rest?
Yeah, I still need to take a long rest like anybody else. I just I'm aware of my surroundings when I'm resting. Like I said, I basically go into like a low power mode. Is kind of how it is, but it's like elf trance, which is basically on light sleep. Or so.
Follow-on question.
Yes.
Do you make a good camping stove?
From background things, yeah. I guess I'm mechanically I pull out like flint and steel, but in actuality, let's go. Like open up my tiny forge.
He does have a little.
I
oven
lean
in
over
his
looking
chest.
like, what in the world?
I was built to build things, and I just get a piece of a bunch of straw or something. Basically, fire starter, and just toss it in the fire.
Got a little pilot light in there. And just sticks
Do
it.
we have the first and second watch covered? Oh.
Yeah. So,
We'll give
As-
Shard one of them.
as the the sun goes down, you begin to take your watch. Would you care to roll a perception check?
That would be a 17.
17. Well, it's a kind of fairly quiet night. As the rest of everybody else goes to sleep, the noises of the city that you're used to, kind of just the general background chatter that's even there during a night, are just absent, and so it's strangely quiet. I mean, there's some every now and then you hear a bit of a cricket, but it kind of goes away, and then there's just nothing. The stars are come out overhead in a much more brilliant display than you personally would have ever really seen. It's actually quite, I don't know. If you think it's nice, then
I do.
yeah.
I'm looking up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of amazed.
Yeah. And so your watch comes to an end with no real events.
Hey, Saraka.
Oh.
Hey,
Okay.
this guy's pretty cool.
Yes.
No, there's stars. It's amazing.
Yes. The stars are always there.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay. I get up. I pull my cloak around me. Kind of scoot slightly closer to the furnace.
Yeah. And as you begin your watch, would you care to make a perception check? And actually, I should be having Shard also make perception checks, because even while in your powered down state, you're
9.
still
17.
all right. So you begin. You're very familiar with nights kind of alone out here, and it's a fairly quiet night again. The kind of grasslands, prairie that you're used to is very calm. You do actually see a few shapes moving in the distance.
Can I tell what they are?
And as you're watching, you can see less from just being able to see them, but more just from the way they move, that you actually are seeing a herd of deer
Oh.
close by.
I'll have to come hunting this way back. I'll watch the deer some more.
Mm-hmm.
They're very pretty.
One of them just his head kind of pops up for a second. And then they all just seem to bolt. They all start running.
My fingers twitch for my bow. So close.
And then you hear another sound kind of in the distance, kind of a weird yipping sound, like a
Wait, how does it go?
Unfortunately, this is not a sound that I can easily mimic. It's not in my repertoire very well, but it does seem like a little bit of a yipping laugh.
Damn coyotes. I draw my bow onto my lap. Era sitting there. How far away is it?
Oh, so the deer were probably about 150 feet.
Okay. And the coyotes?
It's out in the darkness.
As long as they don't come closer, we'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, as you listen, you hear them, but it as you're listening for this sound, it doesn't seem like they're coming closer. They seem to be following after the deer that you saw, and then your watch comes to an end.
I poke Shard.
Huh?
Your turn.
Alright. I have terrible pass perception.
Pass perception is an 8.
Yeah, we'll roll a perception check.
-1.
Ooh.
13, actually.
Oh, yeah. 14.
Do you make that noise when you're scanning? Do you make a scanning noise? 'Cause that's
I'm not that
Like a Cylon.
No. No, I'm not a Cylon. I'm not a Cylon!
That's what Simon was like.
That's what it's
exactly
freaking toaster.
what
Well, just to, as you wait up, it's dark. There's a nice breeze kind of blows in. It's cooling off. Not terribly cold.
Do you even notice temperature changes?
Yes?
Yeah,
Probably
he
has a
knows
thermostat.
Yeah.
He has a thermostat, and
I'm a person. I'm just a robot person.
and if things get too cold for optimum operating temperatures, he is aware of this.
Actually, would I run better at in cold temperatures because I could overclock myself and not overheat?
Well, it depends. Your power source might not give off.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So anyway, the rest of the night passes, and there doesn't seem to be any disturbance. And you wake up in the morning. There's some kind of dew collected on the grass. It's a little bit of a chilly morning, but out here, it'll get warmer fairly quickly as the sun starts to come up. Although as you kind of start to wake up, the sun really hasn't come up yet, as it's still, you're so close to the mountains that the sunrise is actually later than you might expect, just because the mountains are casting shadows. And you can watch towards the west over the grasslands as a shadow, just kind of, the edge of the shadow slowly approaches the slopes that you're at the base of the foot of, until finally they reach you and the sun ascends over the mountaintops.
I start breaking down camp, pulling out some rations, waiting for the city folk to hurry up.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, we'll do that. Get down, do it, perfect, here. Alright. I literally just grab my pole and that's it. I literally have one piece of gear. So I have two. I have a light hammer and I have my pipe. That's
So
it.
you gather up your camp.
After some hot coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, let me heat that up for you. Just
Pull out a bottle of what I believe is sacramental wine, and take a swig and realize that it doesn't taste quite the same. And start the day, I suppose.
Mhm. So you complete whatever morning rituals you have, and
armor, flicking dust out of my crevices.
and then you start back on the trail, following the river north. Very very soon, the grasslands kind of become much more patchy, and in the dirt, and kind of a lot of places of grass replaced with dirt, and the landscape becomes much more rocky and craggy, until finally the slope, you kind of follow a slope down a little ways until and into an area that seems very craggy, just lots and lots of ravines through rocks. There are single standing rocks like pillars around, and you start following this small creek that seems to be carved a ravine through this particular area. And knowing that, you kind of are familiar with, they gave good directions, so it's fairly easy to follow. But we should make actually this would be a survival check. I'd like this a survival check.
Oh wait, I gotta reroll that. Thank goodness.
Halfling luck.
Halfling luck.
10.
Right. Well, the instructions they gave were pretty clear. You just kind of follow the river until finally you reach. At one part, there's a bend where the main branch of the creek heads off to the right and seems to head up into the mountains where it's flowing down from. But there seems to be another path that heads from the left, and at this branch of these canyons, you see a very large husk of a tree. Mm-hmm. It just kind of is twisted. It's growing out, or it once grew out of the edge of this rock and just became very twisted and gnarled. It seems to be dead at this point, but it's a very obvious and very noticeable landmark, as your fellow had said. And so you know that this is where you were supposed to follow the left canyon.
What type of tree is it? With 7 nature check.
The wooden kind?
Solid. Sorry, it's good luck. Knock on wood.
I will trot Bill up to Illian's horse. And I will clasp my hands on her shoulder and...
Can you even reach? You're riding a pony.
Yeah. Okay. We'll look up...
So wait, the human's riding the pony and the halfling's riding a horse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can jump.
Yeah.
Meaning that their heads are probably about the same.
I'm going to cast guidance on you.
Okay.
As you're leading the party, and your success ensures my safety. So I'm going to cast guidance, but I'm going to do it nonchalantly. I'm just shooting the shit, offering what little watered down sacramental wine I have left, and just...
No.
I watered it down, so...
I'll save it until we get back, and I hand it back.
Okay, I suppose.
Can't shoot very straight if I'm intoxicated.
I don't seem to have that problem, and I'll kill it. And
How much further to the camp from here did the guy say it was?
So he said it was only a couple miles down this smaller ravine, which is you're kind of like, okay, it's not too far, which is good because it's very, craggy, very rocky terrain. The gorge that you're going down now is very narrow with fairly steep walls. You kind of see what looks to be like some sort of bird, like maybe an eagle that's flying far overhead, kind of hunting through the rocks. And as you're going along, maybe there's like a little a rabbit that's kind of hiding amongst the rocks from this eagle.
I take my bow out from over my shoulder and set it in my lap, so that way as we get closer, it's ready. When we get closer, though...
And she knows where the lookouts, where we described where he thinks the lookouts will be.
Did you tell her?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We said we
yes. So about halfway down the canyon is where the lookouts usually would be posted.
So about a quarter way down, I propose I go forward a little bit and scout ahead. Some of us may not be so silent.
I am okay with that plan. You have a D4 to add to an ability check. That's what guidance.
So then what?
Well, I'm
so
gonna...
you silently see where they are.
And then come back and tell you what's going on. If needed, I guess I'll shoot them. Wow, I've never actually shot a person before.
They're not hard.
That's good to know.
They're very squishy. Just go with the eyes.
Slightly concerned, but thank you for the advice.
Yes. But
I don't Give me.
Okay.
I actually can kind of still.
I need to stop eating these if I eat like half the bag.
I keep forgetting barbarians have dex.
Barbarians have what?
Barbarians have dexterity.
No back for me.
No Oreos this time.
I didn't have time to go to Oreos.
Oh no, I was running late, so I couldn't swing by house for that. The snacks that I had to do.
This next time, we're just gonna have a giant plate of cheese and crackers and meats.
Okay. I'm gonna want to go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Yeah, so who's all gonna go? Who's all gonna go with
I'll go with.
her? Because I'd like to go with her. And you're already dressed like them,
Actually, yeah, that does make sense.
so you should go too. And
or would it make sense for just me to go? If they might be looking for something they recognize.
but then what?
I don't know.
So we may as well.
Well, we don't want to alert them to our presence is the thing.
Right.
The sooner we're able, the closer we're able to get to them without us knowing they're there,
What?
it's better.
About how far out have we stopped?
We're probably like
So you said this place you described is like 2 miles to the cave, and you said a mile would be the lookout's position, and you said you went a quarter of the way down, so half a mile.
Is there any way that we could circle around where the lookouts would be? Or, like flank them? Get behind them? That's
You
what
could try.
Illian is for.
It is steep. The sides of the cavern are steep. So it's not so much just walking. We do a little bit of climbing, but you can try.
So, who of you is actually stealthy? It's going to make sure they're not kicking rocks. Because that's who should come with.
That's what I'm getting at. Maybe you
I could stay back
and
to the cleric.
and the
protect
friar
to protect
and
the
him
church.
kind of come through the.
Yes,
and we'll
yes,
try to
the
go
church.
on each side.
Provide the church
like that.
protection.
Do you have a soul?
Yes, I have a soul. How dare you?
No, because I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be trying to save souls or something like that. And doesn't matter.
Also, I can move much
Like,
quicker
I have two
quietly
recruits.
if I'm by myself.
Hey boss, I found some people that wanted to help. Got the holy man who sucks at being at the church. I found this guy at the train station.
Perfect.
Alright.
Wait, this guy pointing at me or this guy pointing at him?
They're gonna flank
Oh, okay.
your muscle.
Yeah.
They don't know you're not muscle.
I'm the strongest person in the party. Thank you very much. I think. I don't know. I don't know if
I'm
you're
the friar's
strong
lost
doing
in
it.
what's going
I
on
mean,
at this
probably
point.
not.
What's going on?
Well, I'm going to go check things out.
I support this.
And if I go by myself, I can move quicker than if I had to bring someone.
That makes absolute sense to me.
So what we talked about is that you and him could flank the lookouts.
So you'll go up one side, I'll go up the other.
Okay.
We'll attempt to
And
get
I'm the guy
a
returning
strategic
back.
place behind them, and they're going to go in the front, distract them,
Well,
talk to them.
this is all just interesting and fascinating, but wouldn't it be best to first find out what we're actually dealing with before we start planning an attack?
We're dealing with 2 lookouts.
Is that what?
Oh,
Is that what you
could
found?
Could you
I
send
haven't
your
left
friend
yet.
ahead?
She hasn't left
What
yet. We
friend?
don't know
Your
her.
friend, the one we can't see. Your imaginary friend. Remember the one that you always talk about?
Aren't you a little old for an imaginary friend?
Look, okay, don't judge.
Rose, I think, was the name of your unseen servant.
I don't know how that works mechanically.
Mechanically, no, the unseen servant cannot scout.
Okay.
The unseen servant really can only see what you see.
Okay.
That's my reading of it, at least.
Okay.
I think that makes sense. Actually, that's a good idea. It's like cheat for find familiar.
Yeah, it's invisible. It just goes super slow.
It can go ahead and fold clothes for us if needed.
I'll double
Can
check.
I, at this point, I would like to ritually cast Detect Magic, just to kind of rule that out, at the very least.
I don't know if you're going to see much from a quarter of a mile away.
That's true. That is true. But it takes a minute to do the ritual, so I can kind of try and get
only
as
get
far
60 feet
up
away.
as I dare,
Mm.
and then
And it has like a shitty passive perception, right?
Oh, it's terrible. It's
Yeah. Literally,
I don't even think it has passive perception.
So I'm going to say that it basically can do things for you, but it can't see for you.
Cool.
You'd be like, go get me that basket. If you can't see the basket, it's going to be like, I don't know.
Right.
well, what's the plan?
We also don't know this person you guys talked to was telling the truth, regardless of how scared you may have made him.
There is that. We do know that this group is probably not up for conversating, as they launched a double-headed attack to steal the medicine.
This terrain
for the
looks rather difficult
Well,
to traverse to get up
I don't
there.
see how the plan changes whether we find 2 guys, or 0, or 4.
I mean, personally, I prefer the precaution because,
Well, it's
the
better
less
to
they know about us, the better.
ambush them than walk in there and have them.
No. Does the
Which is why we go out
Yeah.
ahead, flank, scope it out.
Where's the
Wait.
next set of lookouts after the 2 up here?
That's just the cave.
Just the cave?
Yep.
We should be fine.
So he said. So we'll just go scout out the lookouts. They're still going to come in, somewhat lagging behind us. So we're set up. Whether it's 2 or 4, they're going to be focused on the caravan coming up the canyon.
Right.
They can interact and talk, and we can do what we need to do.
the pony actually would be able to stealth better than I would. I have a -1 to my dex. So.
You're not climbing any cliffs anytime soon.
I'm good with
Alright, let's do that.
So let's head out.
All right. So you are kind of going by yourselves.
Yes.
I would like both of you to make a stealth check. And what are you doing?
You have guidance.
Then the 3 of us are
On
just
this one?
continuing down.
Whatever you choose,
That kind of a
you
slow
don't
rate.
have to use it now. Whenever.
And as a
And
very
it's
casual.
for just
It's
ability.
a D4, just do an ability check.
With
An
the-
ability
on the-
check, yeah.
What we are
Okay.
going to imagine are 2 sentries at the top, such that when they emerge and come down and the sentries see them and start engaging with them, we're poised to do whatever we need to do.
Okay.
I rolled a 20. Well,
21.
total of 20.
Okay. So, as they start heading off into the rocks very quickly, the rest of you just lose sight of them.
He just
And they
puts his hood over and the armor and everything just melts into the...
You'd think my green cloak would stand out, but it doesn't.
So you're wanting to try to kind of go up and around, right? So can you also make this would be athletics checks for because climbing the
Athletics or acrobatics?
climbing is athletics.
Landing's acrobatics.
Well, we're going to see how I land in a second.
19.
Okay.
6. I told you we were going to see how I'm going to land in a second.
All right. So so as you are climbing along, you're having it's steep, but it's not too bad. And so you're finding your way up and around. Are you going to the left side or the right side?
I'll take the left.
Okay. And so you're kind of going up the left side, and you're going up the right side. As you're going, it's not very easy. It's tough. It's slow going, and at one point you do kind of actually like slip a little bit. You take a little bit of a hard landing. Go ahead, make an acrobatics check. Now we'll see how you land as you kind of
11.
as one of your hands kind of slides off. As you're climbing, and you kind of catch yourself, but still take a whole 3 points of bludgeoning damage. You kind of land on your foot wrong.
Okay.
It's painful, but you do manage to do so without knocking a whole bunch of stones loose. Luckily,
I
you
twist my ankle stealthily.
yes, you stealthily twist your ankle. Yes, as you
You're like muffled. And you're like hopping on one foot.
So the rest of you, you're heading down the gorge.
Yes.
Yes.
I had a slight delay, so they gave us time to set up and find the people.
I'm singing just a small tune about stealing the medicine and burning the stables. And
All right.
all the
I'll provide
shenanigans we got
backup
to.
harmony and celestial.
So both of you then make me perception checks. As they start heading down the gorge.
I imagine you guys like singing like the Krusty Krab pizza song, but like about medicine instead.
6 total.
Well,
Use my passive perception.
it's an active thing because you're looking for things. But so as you are looking around, there's still a chance that they roll that poorly on their decks. As you're kind of looking around, you don't see anything. Nothing. It just looks like canyon all the way. You just look all the way to the end. And you do see. You don't actually see the cave they were talking about this far away, but you do see kind of the end of the this kind of gorge. And you don't see anything until they start coming down. You can see them as they're going along. You actually catch sight of movement on your side of the gorge, a little bit below you. Something kind of steps behind a rock to be shielded from their view and is watching them.
I kind of creep forward a little bit to get a better angle, knocking my bow ready to fire if I need to.
And as you approach closely, you do actually see two humanoid figures in tannish gray cloaks to kind of match with the terrain, the rocky terrain. And one of them seems to have a spyglass and is watching them. You kind of watching as they approach, and then a second later collapses the spyglass, and then is turning. Seems to be writing something, kind of hunched over, and you can't see exactly what he's doing until the figure stands up and turns, and there's a flapping of wings.
Can I shoot that?
Make an attack roll.
Do we see that flapping of the bird coming out of nowhere?
Make a. This would be probably perception with disadvantage.
19.
So, because you're kind of farther away.
No.
Okay. So no, you don't see anything but you watch it and seeing it, and then you let your arrow go, and as a very calmly practiced, just stick right the thing. This bird just gets stuck and just immediately falls right out of the sky. The two people who were down there who let it go definitely saw that thing.
I probably should have waited a little bit.
And are now looking around, and they kind of give a cry, and the rest of you now hear a cry from somewhere up on the side of the canyon.
Make the sound.
Wait. Before you do that, what did the cry sound like?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to remember.
Make a perception. Make a performance check.
No!
8.
So you just kind of let out a weird little.
Sounds like Chewy.
Very much so.
No, that's not how the song goes.
And now the rest of you, it's very easy to spot now as they break from cover. These two figures up on the left side of the canyon start hurriedly making their way along the canyon back towards the edge.
Which would be heading towards the cave?
Yes.
Can I take a shot?
Yeah. So you're definitely close enough to take another shot.
I'm going to peg the one in front.
Okay.
And then while she's doing that, do I see anything looking down?
They actually don't see where you are, so you can do it with advantage.
Sweet. I rolled the same damn thing. That was an 8.
And I'm peering over the edge of. Do I see any additional guards on the right side?
No, it just looked like there were two on the left side.
Okay.
Nobody on the right side.
How far away are the people running away from us?
So at this point, they're probably 300 feet away.
Is there a way for me from the right side? I'm assuming I'm going to have to go down and across to get to them, or is there some...
It would be down and across. Do you have any ranged weapons?
No.
Yeah, then... yes, so...
But is there a way I can go that maybe cuts them off?
Not really. So they're on the opposite side of the gorge, so there's nothing that kind of bridges the gorge, so...
Okay. I'll just start
making my way. Start heading that way and then kind of try to cut down.
Yep.
So what did you roll to hit them?
Are you on the? Can I see
yeah,
you?
as you draw your bow and release, one of them jumps down from one rock and is disappears just so you
fall like a feather.
Oh no, I'm not falling. Yeah,
but things could be arranged.
Can I make the opportunity to
I wouldn't know that.
hide
Yes.
so they don't see me still?
At this point, it would probably be you could hide or probably pursue them to keep them in range.
Let's pursue.
Okay. So let's see. What? Anybody else have anything to?
You said they're about 300 feet away.
Yeah.
Did I see our my halfling compatriot pursuing them?
You did just see an arrow shot sail over one of their heads, and now you actually, as you look up, you see a little halfling running.
Shit and ashes, and I'll pull out a crossbow and fire from this distance. I don't know how these things work. 300 feet away. It's got a 320-foot long range.
So that's disadvantage.
Yeah.
You roll it.
Wait, what are you attacking with? Light crossbow?
12 to hit.
A 12 does hit him.
Oh,
As he just sails along and just pegs him in his
For
leg,
6 points of piercing damage.
and he kind of stumbles a bit,
I'm surprised that worked.
hitting the rock, and he gives out another cry and is scrabbling as the other guy just runs, keeps running, leaving him behind.
Is he
He'll
at least 320 feet away?
Yes, he's about 300 feet away.
For my movement, I'm going to spur the pony.
What are you
and-
attacking with?
Light crossbow?
Oh my god!
But I wasn't.
Oh, you missed. Okay.
Yeah.
You rolled a 2 on the day.
So you fire, and it's just really far away.
Sure.
I'm gonna start double moving. Just
Spur the pony and move 4 feet up.
Maybe a Constitution saving throw. As you're just,
Wait, you're on a horse, right?
or are you on the horse?
if I'm on the horse, I'll be horse. Go.
Yeah, same.
Then make a Constitution saving throw for the horse.
I got a 17 on the die, so
Okay.
I assume horse
Yeah.
have at least plus 2.
Yes. So are you spurring your horse on? Yeah.
I somehow
Friar, don't
missed
forget
the
to feed us our
horse.
horses.
I rolled a natural 1. I don't know what that does. The horse dies?
So you all start yelling your horses, and your horses start galloping along until for a second your horse hits a rock and kind of it stumbles a bit. And make me an acrobatics.
18.
18. It just kind of stumbles, and you're about to be thrown, but you realize this is happening and gracefully exit the horse.
Okay.
You're able to kind of hop off the horse as it's stumbling,
Sure.
and kind of falls to its side a little bit. You know, kind of like the horses do when its back legs are kind of.
The horse.
I'm not used to this. I have their horses tethered to the pony, so. And I would like to move towards wherever they're going.
All right, so you're hurrying,
As
charging
much
that.
as I can with the pony leading.
Animal handling check.
Oh, great. That's
Which I probably should have had you guys make, but.
11.
Right. Well, horses, they just kind of follow each other sometimes. They kind of all know where they're going, although they're kind of spooked a little bit by when they watch his horse do this weird stumble thing. Of course, now kind of has
I cast mending on it.
You'd think that mending would work on a broken leg.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it doesn't.
Oh, I hope it doesn't have a broken leg. I don't want my horse to go.
We're gonna put out its misery, trying to glue.
Oh God.
Yeah. However, as you kind of charge ahead, they are leaping along from rock to rock on the side of this canyon that is very rough terrain. So you're actually catching up to them very quickly. And in not more than like 20 seconds, you're level with them at the base of the gorge while they're up kind of top. So maybe only like about 60 feet away.
Alright. 6 feet away, I'm like, here, catch, javelin.
Alright. Make the attack.
That's gonna be, that's gonna be 19. 7 damage.
You chuck it. I mean, the javelin just like... Which one were you attacking? The one that was a little bit... Probably the one that was a little bit behind.
Yeah, I'll be attacking the one in front. Because if the one's behind... They can probably have easier shots than the one behind. The other one in front could potentially get away.
Well, you chuck it, and he... You hear, you say, here, catch. He turns, sees this thing, and is able to... Like, it's coming at him, and he doesn't just get impaled, but he does kind of get hit by it. You can see, it's a gash on his arm. He just kind of stumbles and hits a rock, and is very hurt, but kind of scrambles back up to his feet and is going to keep going.
All right, sounds fun. All right, that's my turn. That's what I'm doing.
Are we in initiative order, or are we?
I think
this is kind of like a chase
that's fine.
sequence.
Yeah. So am I down now from the other side?
Yeah, probably. So you're.
I pulled my scimitars. Now I'm
and
doing what he did. Which is
you're
running,
probably up there.
Running up the center to try to catch him.
Mm-hmm. So you kind of went around a little bit, so you had a bit of a head start on them. Came down, so you're probably about 60 feet away from them.
I know this scale right up the.
Okay. It is kind of rough terrain, so you're kind of scrabbling up, hurrying as best you can, closing the distance to about 30 feet from them.
Okay.
Does anybody else do anything other than we're back to
take another shot.
Take another shot at him?
Mm-hmm. Much better. 19 to hit.
Well, that will hit.
Ooh, perfect. 11 damage.
Which one were you shooting at?
The one in the front.
Okay.
His buddy will trip over him when he falls.
So you just calmly, and you're like, never done this before, but I'm sure shooting a human is no different than just shooting an animal. You just kind of stick straight into him, and he falls. And just arrow sticking out of his back, and he just goes for a few more feet, and then just stumbles and slams into the rocks and starts kind of like slides a little bit down the slope.
Well, that was easier than I thought.
And is motionless.
Cool.
Where am I now? And after I did my Legolas jump off the.
Okay, so you're still somewhere around 200 feet away from them.
Okay.
You still have a crossbow.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I guess I'll attack with disadvantage against the not dead guy.
Okay.
9.
So he's running. It just kind of skips off a rock next to him and misses.
Yeah. I suppose I'll double move with the horses and toads.
The thing is, dashing with the you do the double movement with the horse. You still have an action if you want to try to shoot.
Yeah, that'll only get me. They only have 80 foot of movement if they dash, so that'll only get me 200 feet or so.
Yeah, so it's still a disadvantage, but
9.
As they're running along, bolts are pinging off the rock around him. He is highly encouraged to keep going. Let's go to the Warforged Shard. Have anything to do at this point?
I was just gonna throw another javelin.
Okay.
If I can. So miss hard. I assume a 9 misses.
And this is about the time when you actually manage to catch up to him.
Okay.
Kind of going at an angle.
Yeah. So now I'm within melee range.
Yeah. So
okay. I will attack him with my 2 scimitars. So the first one is 14.
well, that'll hit. And
And the second one is 16.
Yeah, roll damage.
So the first one is 2 plus. Sorry, I think it's 3. So 5. Yeah. And then the second one is 2 plus 3. So 10 points.
Well, as your first strike hits, you just kind of stab into him. And you're swinging the second one, but even before the second one hits, you can see the life leave his eyes. And he's falling, but your second one still connects his lifeless form and just splatters more blood across the rocks.
Shouldn't have run.
I'm going to stealth real quick, and then I'm going to move forward at my normal speed.
Okay.
How far are we from the cave entrance?
So about now, let's see, that whole thing started about a mile away. So you're maybe like a half mile away from the cave entrance. Here, I can...
We all reconvene where these are they human now? Now that we're closer.
Yeah. I'll probably signal that I'm going up ahead, stealthily to see what's there, and then I'll come back. Oh, that was.
Sorry.
If we can take a moment, I feel terrible about this whole ordeal. I shot a man.
Yeah, I kind of did too.
I need many things, but that's not me, and I would like to spare the dying on these two. We can take them prisoner, you can gag them, bind them, whatever you'd like to do.
Gag them, bind them, stick them in a steel. What?
Is straight up dead.
One is straight up dead.
The other one you can save.
I would like.
Wait, which is the one that's straight up dead?
The one that you attacked even after he had died.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I would have killed him again.
Yeah. So one with one of my crossbow bolts sticking out of it, I could probably save, and that's what I will do. I'll save. Not before allowing you to begrudgingly to bind him and gag him, I suppose.
Right. So he'd still be unconscious, but he is stable.
Yeah. So spare the dying.
This is a liability.
Someone's mother and someone's son, brother, uncle, whatever.
So you see kind of...
I rolled. What did I roll for stealth? Where is it? I rolled 7 for stealth. While I'm still up top.
It's I'll use my I'll hog tie him and gag his mouth and say we'll come back for him.
Here, we'll scoop this down a bit.
So the cage, that's not up on the ridge, right? It's down?
So it's about partway up the ravine. And the ravine kind of heads this way, and
So I'm somewhere over here.
so this is all like rough terrain, and this kind of the.
It's meant for Elawake, but
Very
it'll
good.
do for now.
Yeah.
Oh, we actually do
I
have.
like that your axe. That's like nice of you.
Where did the
I got this.
thing?
That's like the most metal bard I
Could do that thing.
Nice.
How about that halfling ranger versus that sword? You could use that
That'll
one.
do.
Do
Until
you
I
have the hooded one from last week, or was that yours?
get a ranger for.
Well, it is his. I have it, but
Okay,
you could
fine.
use
I'll
that
just
one.
use this one.
I'll get to use this one on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, the road. I do. It's in the car.
That's fine.
Right. So as you're kind of scrambling along, you're trying to be quiet, but your foot does hit kind of, and there's a little bit of a scattering fall of rocks that kind of clink, clink, clatter, storm down the side, and you kind of pause for a moment, worried,
Yeah, I heard that one.
but nothing seems to have responded to it.
So he's Farouk has noticed while they were gagging the liability, he noticed she's taken off, and he's going to follow as stealthily as he can.
Okay.
When I touched him to spare the dying, I would like to also look for cask of ale or coin.
Okay. He actually, let's see, the one of them, he's only got about that's 5 copper on him.
Not worth it.
In a little bag, just
mainly looking for booze. But
and what seems to be some dried meat.
I suppose that'll do.
Yeah.
I rolled a 15 on my stealth.
Okay.
So
So as you trail her, you saw where she stepped that caused the the small avalanche of rocks, and so you were able to avoid that location causing the issue. So you're much stealthier.
Very small rocks.
Judges. So what would you like to do as you're approaching the cave? There doesn't seem to be any response to your clattering of rocks.
Slow down a little bit, trying to be a little bit more sneakier. I just want to see what's out there, what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
We knew we took care of 2 of them already.
So as you approach, you do see what seems to be.
Did anyone see where the bird fell?
No.
look for the feathers.
I suppose we should probably see
Did we loot the bodies?
found salted meat before copper.
Okay.
You do actually see at the bottom here there is a wagon.
I kind of want to know what they
And
wrote.
behind a rock there seems to be a couple
Oh,
of
they what?
horses tied up behind a rock.
Wrote.
Oh, that's
I would assume it'd be there are people coming, kill them,
I would assume that as well.
or maybe it's a lunch order.
So
Sandwich,
why don't you
no
try
mustard.
to get around to the cave entrance on the high side and
Mhm.
just hang out until they show up. That way, if people come out of the cave, we'll be able to ambush them.
Sounds like a good plan.
And then if we decide to enter, we may as well enter as a party.
Can I re-roll for stealth?
So no, as you're approaching, there does not seem to be anyone outside the cave to notice, and you didn't make enough noise to be heard inside the cave.
Okay.
You don't think, at least.
So I'll work my way around.
So you're kind of like up on the cliff above the cave,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I think it's best if we, at a slower, more cautious pace, approach.
yeah. I mean,
That's
I
it.
think since I was wearing the guy's clothes poorly, again I show up as like I have like recruits.
What kind of clothing were our felled friends wearing?
So it was pretty kind of scruffy clothing. It certainly wasn't like a uniform, or anything. Just some worn denims and kind of a mask, or bandana thing mainly. You think to just kind of keep out the dust.
So
You could
bodies and start.
was it look at music Skwisgaar. We could have you tried it's not get help. What is it's you ride, pretend to be the bandit, and I'm a prisoner. I
Oh.
remember it's I swear I saw a moving picture about this, but usually they're on a railroad.
Can we try and fashion a disguise for a robot friend?
No, the idea I'm
two-
having is you write in saying, "Hey, like, we got attacked, but hey, I found this robot laying around. Maybe we can repair it."
Yes.
And I basically play like a dead robot because I'm very good at being still.
That is true.
Because I guess I don't breathe, therefore you can't see that I'm actually like not alive.
And you, how strong are you?
It's like it's more like mainly you being face. I don't want you to go by yourself.
Yeah, no. Okay, all right. Do you want to? Would you like to hang back while I try to make a distraction?
Well, I at this point I'm saggy, cycles under the eyes. It's been some while since I've last drank, and I'm feeling rather worn down. Could your friend not handle
Friar,
whatever comes across them?
Friar, the last thing we want to do is to risk Shard in any way like that. Please, he's capable, but not indispensable. But my
No. We should finish this. And take a swig of water and whatever we're gonna do. What is the plan?
Yeah, my good Friar, there might be some drink inside.
That is what I'm hoping.
Yeah. See, I was thinking the plan is you go in pretending to be a bandit, and I am something you found on the way here.
That's great.
You say, hey, this person took out basically took out the rest of us in the town, but hey, maybe we can get some use out of him.
Okay.
Is the sun? Which way is the sun? Is it shining this way or this way?
Or run into the sunset or out of the sunset.
So at this point it is about high noon. So probably that way.
Okay.
It's coming in a little bit from the south and south, so maybe a little bit this way.
Okay. From my as I see them approach from my hiding spot, I'll grab a gold coin and I'm going to try to create a little reflection so that they can see where
you are,
where I am.
There you go.
If they can pick it up.
I cannot.
17.
4.
I do not notice.
17.
Oh, you noticed, gentlemen.
Bright light, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't hang
It's
over.
not that bright. It's just a gold
I'm
coin.
going
And I
to
will pat you and point it out.
Okay.
ready my bow to shoot whatever comes out that tries to attack them. Or
Okay.
if someone makes an attack against them, I want to shoot them.
In that case, instead of just wandering into the cave, what was the boss's name?
It was
Ooh, who could do the call?
Grumar?
Grumar. Oh, I'm regretting this decision.
Right.
So channeling my best
Owlbear?
That is a 14.
Well, how does it sound though? And how close was that to?
Oh, I'm like,
How did you do it the first time?
How did I do it? It was like,
No.
Pretty sure the wild rose.
So now that you've
and
heard that,
Spectral
you try it now.
Okay, so
That's
I'm with you,
already
right?
forgot.
So because we're
You
right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Alright. So really constipated roosters.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Well, if we were conspiring a plan,
But you could hide behind the cart too.
I would like to have tied up the horses reasonably
Okay.
safe.
So are we with horses? Are you literally dragging me like, got one?
So a moment later,
I guess I'm trying.
I guess you're dragging me.
Yeah.
a large figure kind of appears at the mouth of the cavern, looks out, and is like, "Yep. Who's there? Who is it? Who's coming back?"
Just come back from the raid. We ran some troubles in the stable, but look at this ruben I found. Have you ever seen anything like this in your whole life?
What the hell is that?
Honestly, I don't know. It was a little bit hot, and I'm not just talking temperature.
Make a deception check with disadvantage. Oh, no, sorry, with advantage. Sorry,
Okay.
advantage, because he's definitely distracted by this, whatever this is.
Are you?
Okay.
I stripped on my. I stripped mid.
Wow.
13.
That
Well,
was.
he was like, I was like, yeah, well,
You said disadvantage or advantage?
advantage.
Oh, sorry, then 22.
Okay, yeah. I was like, kind of looking. He's like, "What the hell is that?" He seems like totally had forgotten about you now. I see he's just staring at this thing. It's like, where'd you find that?
It was by the stables in the black. That elf, you know them elves. That he might be up to some shenanigans.
Yeah, sure. The elf? What the hell is that? And he
Ah,
just
shit and ashes. The elf in town. I don one of the one I say.
he starts to approach, just like tunnel vision,
Sure.
looking at this thing.
Yeah,
and he walks right up next to you.
yeah. I don't know how quite to turn it on, but it looks powerful.
And you see another one seem to kind of like poke his head out and be like, "What's going on?"
All right, come look at this.
Can I move over towards the cart and look? Is it an empty cart?
It seems to be, yeah, it's an empty cart.
Yeah, I would stop helping him drag this heavy thing. And, is it the cart from town now?
You have not seen this particular cart.
Yeah. I'm just sitting there, just like.
So how high are we above the cave?
We're probably about there. So
But
it's like
I
10
would have
feet
given
up.
you my
Oh,
pike
okay.
because me having a weapon is a bad idea.
We're just sitting on the sides,
So-
but we're really kind
Yeah.
of.
I would
We're
have
about
dropped
there.
it on the ground right next to you because
Okay.
the struggle of dragging.
Okay, yeah, it's more like, yeah. I assume I didn't have any weapons on me. I would have given them to them. So.
And
but
at this point, so he's like, people, come take a look. What the hell? So he looks back up to the cave and to call someone else down, and then his eyes find you. All right, roll initiative.
Is it this one out too, or still in?
Do I get an attack on him
God damn it!
before?
That's the one.
Hey,
So
bro!
he's kind of
Best friends!
I
Do you have enough
Oh,
bonus?
good.
have a +2.
I have it. So.
20.
Yep.
Okay.
Do I get that attack off of him as he turns around?
Well, you're probably going to. Did anybody else beat a 20?
We got 2 4s over here.
All right, what did you guys get?
7.
Really?
Yep.
That's wiggle.
We both got 2s +2.
And I'm just sitting there.
Beglian?
I got
I'm
5.
sorry.
Jesus,
I
guys!
got 10.
Wow, the friar is going before someone.
Honestly, narratively, this kind of makes sense because we're just bullshitting, and then you guys are actually ready to fight.
Okay. So you're first. So you do get that attack on him. He one thing. This guy is like a large, beefy human. Definitely not a half orc.
Neither one of them.
Neither one of them.
20 something to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
My adjusted
Sweet.
issue was like 10.
10 damage.
Yeah. So as he just looks at you, he's like, "What the?" He just released and just sticks into his arm, and he gives a little cry of pain. And surprisingly, it's then Beglian's turn.
Yeah, wow. I will, seeing this go down, shit and ashes.
Oh,
and,
sorry. No, you had the
I got
10. You
10.
said 10.
Yeah, it's like,
You said
I was about to say,
My bad.
So I'm going to drop down from my 10 feet above onto the back of that guy with the 2 scimitars coming down.
Okay, sure, yeah. This would be. He doesn't know you're there, so surprise attack on you.
Okay.
So with the first attack will be with advantage.
So that just means he gets advantage, right?
Yeah.
So the first attack is a 20, modified 20, and the second one is so 20 is the first attack.
So you just drop down and just.
Yep, and then the second.
And you
Should I roll the damage for the first?
roll the
attack?
damage first, yeah.
Okay.
Because depending.
Yeah. So 6.
6. Well, you kind of he starts to he takes the damage. He's not.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the other one will come across the back of his neck. Ooh, I missed on that unless a 6 hits.
6 does not hit.
Yeah.
6 does not hit many things.
No.
It's oozes.
It does hit a gelatinous cube, I think, as well. Yeah. So you, as you kind of you land on him, the first one hits, but he crumples a little bit, and your second swing kind of goes over his head. Then it is Friar Beglian's turn.
what was that saying again? Power on, and I will also cast in Abyssal Shield of Faith.
Yay! Shield of Faith.
And that's my turn.
Okay.
No.
Shield of Faith, I believe, is a bonus action.
It is a bonus action. Sacred Flame action.
I don't have Sacred
Do
Flame.
you have Toll the Dead? Do you have any damage to cantrips?
No, I'm not a damage. I have Word of Radiance in case. But I do have.
You must have a mace.
You have a light crossbow. We know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've told the dead. No, I'm going to move and kind of try and hide at the cover, very least.
All right, so you are actually going to try to hide?
Yeah.
Sure, so make a stealth check.
18. That's
18,
that's
yeah.
impressive.
So you just, so you just kind of, while everybody's distracted, you're just crouching behind the wagon, and you're like, and that
Yeah.
brings us surprisingly, even more surprisingly, to whichever one of you would like to go first.
I go like power on, murder mode on. Okay, I go murder mode. I will reckless attack the guy. With reckless, it is 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
And raging, so 11 damage. As I start emitting, I start overclocking. And emitting critical
WD-40 does not like it.
All right. How much damage did you do in the first one? You remember?
10.
10. Okay. I was bad and didn't mark it down. Yeah. So you do smash him with your stick, and he's looking not good now. He's taken 2 hits to the face, and now it is.
So I'm kind of flustered because I didn't expect it to, roll into action real quick, and I'm looking around and I go, and Eldritch Blast.
He is.
You have disadvantage.
You have
so
disadvantage on the Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, you turned off a crit, Zander. No. Okay, that's still fine.
Yeah. 18.
18. I didn't turn off the crit. He turned off the crit by firing while right next to someone.
Oh.
So 18 will hit.
All right.
So
Pew.
as you pew pew,
That is 7.
the spectral
he didn't
gun
necessarily
forms
turn
and
off
just.
the crit. I've seen someone with disadvantage roll 2 20s.
I've seen someone with advantage roll 2 natural ones.
Yeah. Jeez.
My friend Trace. He's the Will Wheaton of our group.
It's hilarious when it happens.
Yeah. How's he looking?
Oh, he's still alive. He's just kind of takes an arrow, takes the smash, takes the force, and is just kind of like shaking, looking at you,
Shaking.
and then just and he's going to stab.
I did reckless.
All right. Well, he
You
is
are shielded.
as he actually just decides to go for the bard.
Damn it! I don't have Sentinel yet.
Where's his?
I know.
Oh, it's a 17 to hit.
Do you get hot enough to create steam if
Not
water
yet.
hits you? But no, like
That is 6 damage
I created water and rain, and would it?
as he smashes you with a
Like a fog.
morning star, kind of a club spiky thing.
Sure.
He's not happy about that. Then the other one, the one that you dropped on, will pull out a scimitar and start to. And now that you are definitely right in front of the cave, we can totally see. I'm gonna show you this cave.
Oh, yes.
Beep.
Oh, I have Hunter's Mark. I need to be using that.
Yeah, it's like the Rangers' bread and butter. Rangers don't get smite, but they get Hunter's Mark.
We played Waterdeep and the bard never bardically inspired anybody.
I feel a lot of bards don't, especially lore bards. Like, I'll serve her for
I need to remember.
cutting words.
Do I have that yet, actually?
No, because you're not. You don't have any of the. You're not the 3 bard yet.
Okay,
Dang, that looks nice, man.
No, it says I have it.
So yes, there is
Wait.
more cave and more people.
You have Mark Inspiration. You just don't have cutting words.
Oh, right, yes.
I assume you're going whispers, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You know how this guy's gonna go.
Yeah.
You hear kind of some more commotion from inside the cave as people shout and people seem to be coming forward.
So
Vatican
done it
streets
quietly.
of London.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh no! Wait. That guy's not here. This one's here. Actually, they're both there. And this guy's back here. All right. So now there's their turn. That one will try to take a stab at you. Okay. Well, that's going to be like an 8 to hit. That doesn't hit anything except like zombies.
Parries him.
So he swings at you and dings. This guy, seeing his friend in peril, just get dropped on from above, he's going to kind of come up here, squeeze outside, and go right there and try to make an attack. Well, that is even worse.
Okay. He parries with the other.
Then the rest.
Stop trying to hit me and hit me.
This guy's easily going to come over there. This guy
Ugly.
Are they all
stands over there.
humanoid?
Humanoid, yes. And this guy comes to the kind of towards the door, thinking that his friends have taken care of you, even though they're totally not. He's going to fire down at the other thing he can see, which would be the Warforged.
Hello, he has advantage.
Wouldn't he have partial cover through all of those?
He still has advantage, so.
Well, that is, where did I write that down? To 23 to hit.
That hits, no matter, even with cover.
And shield?
I don't have a shield.
Shield of faith. I guess.
No, my shield of faith is AC's 19. Assuming I don't have 3/4 cover, it still hits me. Because yeah. Math.
And that will be 8 piercing damage as he shoots you with an arrow.
Oh.
And that will be their turn for this round.
Alright. Who's turn now?
Then back to the top of the round. It is your turn.
Alright, do I have an angle on these two down there?
No, so you're on top.
Yeah, because she.
I'm on top.
Yeah. Up from where you are, yes.
I don't
forgot
take any
I'm raising.
disadvantages for firing
I
into
heard
melee.
4.
Yeah.
In 5th edition, no, you don't. There's no
Okay.
problem.
So I'm still trying to move my rules over from Pathfinder, like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Pathfinder.
In 3.5, you did have an issue.
So I'm gonna assume big guy over there is gonna be taken care of by Shard in the next round, and I'm gonna pick off one of the ones ganging up on him.
Okay.
20, not natural.
That'll hit.
You shooting the one that I damaged or the other one?
Oh, shoot the one you damaged. 6 to hit.
Right.
6 damage.
Well, you fire at him, and it just sticks into him, kind of just skewers into his shoulder. He gives a cry and stumbles, and then kind of falls a little bit halfway down the slope, and then doesn't get up.
Alright. I'm going to bonus action
It was the other
Hunter's
one.
Mark, by the ways. Probably should have done that first, but
Well, now you're going to bonus action Hunter's Mark.
yeah. Bonus action Hunter's Mark on the other guy in front of Farouk.
This one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, that brings us to Farouk's turn.
Through gritted teeth, he's just got the swords like that was a big mistake. Alright, so the first attack is 19,
That'll hit.
and that does 8 points of damage.
Ooh, you just carve into him, putting in a big gash into him. He's not happy.
Second attack is an 8.
8 does not hit. As he parries your offhand, you're going in to swing this one, and he goes to parry that one, but then your other one cuts in, and then he still gets the other one. It's all very cinematic and epic. That brings us to Beglian. As you're cowering behind the wagon.
Kind of keeping an eye on what's going. Oh my! This dog and cast sanctuary on the robot. Still concentrating on.
Well, you know Sanctuary goes down if I attack, right?
Yeah,
Your
as soon
name's
as
right.
as soon as he attacks, Sanctuary will disappear.
Yeah.
Then I'll hold
You can
my
say-
action
You can
to
Sanctuary.
cast sanctuary after he makes an attack.
Yeah. You can Sanctuary yourself since you're keeping up Shield of Faith.
I could do that.
You could sanctuary the guy who's at the mouth of the cave.
Yeah. Sure. That's
About to eat several attacks.
Yeah, I'll cast sanctuary on Farouk then, and
What does that do?
next attack against you, they have to make a wisdom save
nice.
or choose a new target
Oh,
for the on a failed. But that's a bonus action, and my action will be. Shoot, I suppose I will. I'll try and shoot one of these guys with the crossbow.
Inspiration point.
Also, this would be a good time to bring up a rule that doesn't get brought up very much. Is holding a spell actually requires concentration.
So I couldn't spell. 19 or 17 to hit this gentleman here.
No, that's me.
Another one.
Big guy.
What are you hitting with?
The light crossbow.
So you are actually hidden, so you would have advantage.
Okay, let's see if I can crit.
Which is
I do not crit.
not something that non-rogues usually do, but so that
17 to hit.
will hit.
And it's a... Where's this D8? 5 points of piercing.
Well, he's just been taking bad beatings from all sides, and then finally the crossbow goes in and sticks into him, and with a cry, he falls backwards and dies.
Ashes, and I'm done back. Well, I'll make my way, I guess, here.
That makes it your 2 turns.
Alright, I guess I'm going to go... excuse me, pardon me. 1, 2, 3...
So that is rough terrain.
Basically, I can get right at... I'm basically going to get right at the door.
So kind of having a little bit of cover from these people, but since I have reach, I can basically poke through to the other door where the one that's attacking him is. Is that flanking? You said is opposite.
Yeah,
Okay.
directly opposite.
Okay, so I will reckless. I'm gonna get a 20 to hit. I'm gonna deal 5 damage.
All right. You deal 5 to... Ooh, that one actually finishes that one off too.
Nice.
Dope. Dead. And then is this? Yeah, and then basically, I'm just gonna stay here
And just kind of, basically just stay here. And essentially, once they get nearby, they're gonna be my threat area. But we're good.
Oh, I forgot. I get +2 to attack rolls with ranged weapons.
Rangers.
Right, that makes it your turn.
Can I see the guy in there with the bow?
Yes.
That probably, I think, shot me?
He shot your friend.
Shot my friend. So, I look at my finger. I'm still kind of confused. And then I look at my other one and I go. Because I still don't fully understand what's happening here.
And another beam of force just fires off.
So that is 18.
18 will hit.
Yeah, and for 3 damage.
All right, 3 damage. Well, now, seeing this large warforged thing charging up,
I try my best.
Let's roll though.
Which I've actually been saying. Shield of Faith, Sanctuary, Cure Wounds. This
Oh, this is there. Oh, that's awesome.
I'm trying my best.
so he's actually going to charge up
Sound like a
To the
back.
door.
So he's going to shoot at you.
At me.
Do you want him
Okay.
through the door or just at the door?
I did reckless. I don't know if I have cover, but reckless.
No, at this point you don't really have
Okay.
much cover. So that is a 19 to hit,
19 hits.
dealing 9 piercing damage.
I heard 4.
Then this guy will charge up, and since you are like right there,
Yep.
he will take a shot at you,
Okay.
or he will swing at you.
Alright.
So that's a 21 to hit.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
As he swings at you with which one is he? He's that one. Swinging at you with a scimitar
Okay.
for only 5 slashing damage.
I heard 2.
And this guy let's see, where can he get? Actually, he's going to stay back a bit and angle himself. Actually, let's see, I think the only way he can really do that is by getting about here and shooting at you. You do have a little bit of cover there.
Got it.
No, the cover doesn't matter. Yeah. Cover doesn't help against natural 20s.
Oh, yay.
This is a charity event.
Ah! Throw $1 in. Yeah, I did ask if that could be done at the lair. Just like throw $1 in for rerolls and just say it's a charity event, but no. You can still donate during games, but it does, you have to get approved in order for dollar rerolls.
Yeah.
So that is 14 piercing damage.
I heard 7. I am now bloodied. Ow.
All right.
Do you mean boiled?
Yes.
So that's the end of their turn.
No, yeah, I start like leaking like mixed. Looks like
Antifreeze.
like coolant and like.
Oh
other,
wait,
like,
no,
liquids.
he actually he gets to shoot it once more. That's a 21 to hit.
All right.
Which that one is 6 piercing damage.
Droid needs help badly.
Droid needs food badly. Alright. I'm still up. Barely. If I wasn't raging, I would have been down a long time
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
I'm
Well, that's
going
the way
to,
of barbarians.
Jump off from here, so I have like just enough space to like make sure I'm not in range of any person that can hit me.
Okay.
And then as I'm rolling out of my jump, I pull my drawstring back and let loose an arrow at the guy in front.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Make an attack.
That is.
Did the sanctuary expire, or is that until?
No, it's until someone makes
It's
an attack
over
on you.
20.
Yeah, sanctuary lasts a minute until he
Yeah,
makes
that'll
an
hit.
attack.
Yeah.
Also, I can use my bonus action. So can I use my bonus action before I hit him to
I could
put
hold
Hunter's
my
Mark on
action
him?
then, right?
If you want. Or
You had already.
Go, it's fine.
Well, why
Yeah,
not?
remember to do it beforehand.
Like I remember.
Yeah. So you can use it now and put it on him.
Okay, so I'm gonna put Hunter's Mark on him. Then it's a D6, right?
Yeah. So yeah.
That is 11 damage.
Okay. That guy, you're just like, as you just drop down and look at him like, you're mine. You draw and just find a perfect moment as these two are battling. Just find a perfect moment to thread that arrow right in and just stick him, and he goes down.
Sweet.
That one's dead.
That's awesome.
The archer's cover did not last very long. All right, that brings it to Farouk.
So can this guy see me? Who's in the that doorway there?
Currently, no.
You can step in there and hold your attack until.
Yeah. So how does holding an attack work? So I could
use
take my
your
movement.
Yeah, you use your movement, and then you use your action to hold an action until some
Trigger happens.
And then once that happens, you can choose to use your reaction to take that.
Okay. So I'm gonna
Kind of
step in and to where I'm within melee range of him, whether that's inside the cave or right in the front.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
like that's like in my. No, you kind of have to be standing in the entrance of the cave.
Okay, so I'll do that, and then I will hold my action, feeling empowered by this kind of glittering
Just
aura
so
of-
you're fully aware, when you're holding your action, you would not be able to take a bonus action to make a second attack.
Okay, that's fine.
What's the trigger for your held action?
When he attacks,
Okay, when he attacks you, you're gonna attack him. Okay.
after he attacks, I will attack.
Is it the Friar's turn?
Yes, it is.
So is the second attack in 2-weapon fighting a bonus action?
It
Yes.
is.
Which is the actual word for in abyssal.
Yep.
Pole. I will channel my divinity. 10 points.
Woo!
Does that?
Technically 2 of it gets wasted, but yeah, we're good.
Well, I'll save those 2 if
Well,
only.
is anybody else below half? Basically, yeah. It's I can't get healed above half, so.
Well, I'll get you to the half, and then I'll use the cure wounds once I get to you.
Channel Divination action.
It's an action.
Oh,
You can heal in word base.
Yeah.
You have that.
I do have healing word.
Okay.
And that doesn't require me to get to you.
Yeah.
So, channel my divinity 8, and then healing word you for another 7.
Sweet. Okay, so I'm at 11. Let's see. I can math. Okay.
Right here.
Looking good. All right.
I guess I'm going to, since he's kind of in the doorway, actually, let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to get here. I don't know if that's considered flanking. And attack. If not, I'm going to reckless anyway.
Flanking.
Okay. So advantage on the attack, but not recklessing. What's the math? 17 to hit.
17 will hit.
17 hit. 14 damage. This will go and stab on my pike.
14 damage. All right. He takes 14 damage. He's not happy.
Which one does?
The one that is a problem, maybe going to attack you, maybe going to attack me.
Right. That brings us to
Skwisgaar.
Skwisgaar.
Let's see. I think I can get. Can I get here without provoking an attack from this guy?
No, not really.
I mean, I guess I'm going to go there because I can't. There's not much I can do with.
All right, but he is currently holding a bow, so he
That's fine.
does not get an attack of opportunity.
So what?
He doesn't.
Oh, you don't get. Okay, cool. And then seeing the far guy because he shot Shard, right?
He did.
So I'm focused on him, and just I still don't understand what's happening, and just go and.
It's like Thwip. Like Spider-Man Thwip.
No. It's I don't know if you remember last time.
Pew.
So he pews, and then this a ghostly form of like a gun appears in his hand and fires.
Yeah.
As this beam of force shoots across the cavern towards him, and
It is a 17.
a 17 hits, smacks him in the chest,
5 damage.
dealing 5 damage as he's kind of.
Yeah.
And now you have his attention
It's alright.
as he slowly stares at you down,
First
draws an arrow.
Say,
Which
you
one?
heard my friend, you son of a
Which
bitch.
Which one is doing it?
Oh, that one is very obviously a half orc.
Which one?
The one on the back.
Oh, you can't see
So,
that.
you had his curiosity. Now you have the attention.
So he fires the first one, and you're able to just kind of duck. You're like, oh crap! You kind of duck down and go sailing over your head. But then, very quickly, he draws another arrow, and that will be a 13 to hit.
Yeah, 13 AC.
Dealing 8 points of piercing damage.
That's not great, but it is okay.
And then he will actually lower his bow and pull out a sword. And he will move back this way.
You feel like I have you now.
As he ducks behind that place. The other guy will also, he'll drop his bow and pull out a short sword and try to, first, so you've been sanctuaried currently?
I have.
Yeah. So he will now try to attack you.
So wisdom save.
Wisdom save.
13.
He actually fails, so he must redirect it onto the...
Yeah, he must choose a new target or forego the attack. So
Well, he's not going to forego the attack.
Is there something
could,
within
it's
range?
fine.
of his
yeah,
sword?
there's me.
Yes, him.
Where
Um,
are
But
you at?
you
I'm
were
right next to you.
holding
I'm on the other side of it. I'm the other brown
Yeah.
one.
So my action will
Where's
trigger
his-
after his attack, right?
And he misses. He just kind of spins around. So he looks at you, is like, Nope. Spins around and slashes and just clings, bangs off of the
So
armor.
sanctuary worked. Yeah.
So
but
now
then
that
triggers my attack, right?
He will.
Does his ready action go off?
Yeah, if you would like to now. Okay.
Well, it finishes after he's done attacking.
You
So he
just
has
said
another attack.
when after he attacks.
Yeah, but the triggered action has to happen first, and then it goes, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So he takes another attack, and this one will actually hit the Warforged.
You still get to attack.
Yeah. Yep.
Where's
Nat 20.
Oh wow. Yeah.
That's a good ready to action.
So is it 2 dice or double what I roll?
It's I usually do the 2 dice because it's more fun that way, I think.
Dice rolling's fun.
Anyway, that's 6 slashing damage or piercing damage.
I hear 3.
I've got somewhere in here. Okay, so 5, 8.
8. Well, that is enough to take him down.
Next. He's just carved his way into the cave.
Yeah.
Alright, so my turn?
Yes, yeah, back to the top of the round.
Is that a being that's there with the stuff on its head?
I'm not sure.
No.
What about you?
That's,
yes.
That's me.
That's
Oh, okay.
Skwisgaar.
Skwisgaar?
That's my super metal loot, man.
Gotcha.
It's like bringing out magic and shit.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying
saw
to
like
get
the
in
half
position to
elf
see
bard
him.
was just like holding like a little like.
But he
hand
doesn't
flute.
want you to see him.
I know he doesn't.
That worked. That couldn't have worked out any better with this sanctuary. Just
5,
held
10,
it.
15.
Deflects the attack.
Let's go this way.
Execution.
5, 10, 15, 20. Do I have visual here? Can I get here?
So let's see. If you're here, it'd be 5, 10, 15, 20. So no, you couldn't get over here. Because remember, every other diagonal counts as 2 turns.
Alright, so I'm gonna.
And also going through your ally counts as difficult terrain as well.
But I can move through creatures larger than I am.
Right, yes. Halfling thing.
So I'm gonna go ahead and put myself in the corner back there. And then.
So just like right here?
Yep. And then.
So he would have 3/4 cover at this point. So he's very heavily obscured. But it's still possible to hit him. You see like a little sliver.
So I can see him.
You can see him.
So I can move my hunter's mark to him.
Yes, you can.
So I'm gonna move my hunter's mark.
Okay.
And then I'll try and take a shot. 17.
As you draw and you fire, and unfortunately you do hit the column of rock between you and him that he is hiding behind.
Okay.
Which brings us to Farouk's turn.
All right.
With no more sanctuary.
Yeah. So this guy is next, right?
That's me.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
There's
Who's
only
in your,
one left.
Is it just him? Huh?
yeah, the half orc.
All right.
As long
I'm
as the
just gonna
whole
try to
thing
get.
left
I'm
up.
just gonna go around and attack him. And I'll utter something about. This is your single chance to surrender with your head attached.
Yeah, you have to get here in order to hit him.
Okay. So I'll do the 2 attacks.
Turns. He has drawn his scimitar, and now he is facing you.
Okay.
5 facing.
So 23.
23 to hit.
First attack.
Will hit, yes.
And the second attack is a 9. Yeah, my weak hand is bad. So the first attack does 8.
Right. You cut across him.
And then I'm going to action surge.
All right.
Action
surge.
So that allows me to attack again.
Yep.
Not the 2 attacks, just 1, right?
Yeah, you only get 1 attack.
Yeah, because it's the attack action.
Yeah.
You don't get the other bonus.
Missed.
No, $1.
That's too bad.
Right. That brings us to.
I thought Friar goes before us.
Oh, right. Yes, Beglian.
Can I get to this gentleman that I dropped with the crossbow?
Where did you drop him with the crossbow?
Right here. That's 6.
So, but some of those.
That's rough terrain. I think.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah, it's rough terrain.
Double move, you can get there.
You could.
Why don't you come in so you can heal people?
Because I'm not a murderer. At the very least, I was spared dying.
Says as he puts away
But,
his cup.
but it is murder if one of us dies. Because
No, I'm not going to let anyone die. But this gentleman specifically,
He's getting close.
I'm good.
I'm much closer.
Oh, what are you at?
3.
We have people in dire need of your services.
And I'm going and
You'll be there. You heal
good
them
places.
after the battle.
Spare the dying is an action as well.
Yeah, I'm aware. No, I'm committing. I'm sparing the dying on that gentleman that I dropped. I specifically dropped with the crossbow.
Okay.
I'm a shit cleric, but a cleric nonetheless.
Okay. You don't like the thought of killing people. That now brings us to the Warforged Shard.
Which is ironic if he's just killed Skwisgaar.
But I'm going to get on the other side of him and use this flanking mechanic that is so nice.
To give myself advantage. Alright, 20 to hit for minimum damage of 6.
20 will hit.
That's my 4th round of rage. So I'm almost halfway done.
Okay. So that brings us to
Skwisgaar.
Okay. Seeing as so how long is the double squares at 10? On this
Yeah,
one?
each of the squares is 10. Or each of the squares is 5. So
each square is
So 5.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I said. All right. So
It's only when you go die.
yeah, it would be super inconvenient if each of those pieces was individually
Can
5
I get
feet.
here? I guess is what I'm asking.
I think
1,
so.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, he looks like
5,
you get
10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, you can get there.
And then, what's hypothetically speaking, if I was going to do a diagonal cone, could I just thread it to not hit the Warforged?
No.
Okay. Well, this is going to happen. Because I've been kind of wondered. So, I had the 1. I had the 2. I'm still kind of pissed that he hurt my friend.
Okay.
So, I put my hands together.
What? Fire gun?
Like Charlie's Angels.
Hell yeah, like Charlie's Angels.
Yeah!
And, unbeknownst to myself, I cast Burning Hands.
All right.
I'll make the deck save. I crit my deck save. Let's see if I double crit.
Sorry.
Oh my god, dice going everywhere.
Well, he fails. Because my dice really... I'm switching up dice.
No, keep those. So let's see.
I'm gonna be taking I'm only half this, but still gonna be a fair amount. That's a good burning hands.
Yeah, that is 11.
That's
11
fine.
fire damage.
I heard 5.
Right. So a cone of fire just shoots out, engulfs him, kind of singes your friend a little bit.
I'll be resistant to it in about 10 levels.
And I'm just like, oh shit.
Oops.
It's a...
Sorry, Shard. Well, now it's his turn. And he is mainly focused on you at the moment, because you're kind of dueling. So he is going to make a couple attacks against you.
Okay.
First attack. That is a 24 to hit.
Okay. I have AC of 16.
So he hits, dealing 9 slashing damage.
Okay. Ouch.
And then he makes another attack against you.
And then another. And another. And another. But he has action surge as well.
17 to hit.
Yep. That's 16.
For another 9 slashing damage.
How are you looking?
Like I'm unconscious.
Nice. So...
Sleepy.
So
thumbs up and found. Thumbs
Yes.
up and found.
So I had 17 left.
Right. So he just makes 2 slashes against you. Sorry, those 2 good attack rolls followed by 2 maximum damage rolls.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Slashes twice against you. You're kind of very hurt. And then he spins around, pulls out a dagger, and stabs into the Warforged, or at least attempts.
And as he slumps down, he just mutters something up. Wish there was a cleric here.
Cleric will be back in a bit.
Cleric would have been nice.
I only have one chance for Bigly. I'm out of spells.
His stab into the Warforged does not work
I'm not
out
gonna let
terribly
you
well,
die.
though.
Awesome. Sounds good.
As he kind of turns around and you just kind of,
Well, you
nope.
were conscious.
Alright. So,
Okay.
That brings us to Illian.
Can I move 20 feet in a way that I can get a good shot at him?
Yeah, you could go
If I hadn't been
one.
unconscious. Which is the second
So
one.
about there.
you might crit on your death save and get back up.
That's true.
Okay.
Actually, right
It's like
there,
there's a
would,
5%
right there
chance
would
of
be.
that happening.
I took the healer's feat, so I can spend the.
Oh, you're a viewman.
Yeah.
I don't suppose 12 is going to hit.
12 does not hit. Just kind of watches you come up and just sidesteps an arrow, just flies between everybody and hits the cavern wall.
Alright. Well, that's all I can do.
All right, that brings us to Farouk. Death saving throw, please. Roll a 1.
13.
Okay, that is one success. Beglian.
Hearing screams coming from within, shake me from my stupor and I will go 1, 2, 3, 4.
More or less all rough terrain up there.
So it takes you.
That's
You have the double move. You can get 2 squares in.
yeah. I will do that, and
So can you double move and then cast?
You can bonus action cast if you have one. Or I don't know if you do.
not that I can cast.
Yeah, because you're a life cleric, not a death cleric, right? Yeah.
Well, you got a healing out of first level spells.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. You got Spare the Dying, so
Yeah, I do.
you get around.
That's where I'm heading in.
All right. So that brings us to
It's my turn.
yes.
How's
Shard.
the bandit looking?
Oh, he's still fighting furiously.
Okay, I'm not going to reckless, and I'm just gonna swing.
Okay.
21 to hit.
21 actually does hit,
12 damage.
dealing 12 damage. That's brutal.
Yeah, and for
Now he's looking a little worse for wear.
Yeah, and then I'm going to basically reposition a little bit.
He's not flanked anymore, though.
Yeah, he's not flanking, but I'm going to reposition. So
if he tries to basically increase the party's overall area of influence. So
Okay. So that brings us to
Skwisgaar.
Skwisgaar.
Yeah.
Skwisgaar, you can just use the gain fees.
So I'm not doing like great, you know. So I wiped some blood off my face. And I cast Bane.
Charisma
So
save.
13.
All right.
What does that do?
It's anti-bless, essentially.
Well, it depends on if he fails or not. But
He gets charisma.
yeah,
16.
then nothing happens. But if he does, he rolls a d4.
What was
and
supposed to
subtracts
happen
that.
in theory?
So it's a debuff. So it's like whatever his like attack or saving throws or whatever, he rolls a d4 and subtracts that to whatever his total was.
What's really annoying is when you're blessed and baned at the same time, you get to roll 2d4s and do a lot of math.
Right. So is that your turn?
Yeah, I don't think I have.
You know any bonus actions?
No.
Okay. You can go. You can Bard Queen Spire.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
Who do you want to Bard Queen Spire?
Oh, you. Of
How do
course.
you Bard Queen Spire me?
Well, still a low-level bard. Kick his ass, Shard!
So your name is Shard. I want you to die, Shard,
You can certainly try.
knowing it was me. Rumor that sent ya to hell.
Oh, your name is what? Umar?
Well, he is going to attack you,
Yes.
and that will be a 23 to hit.
That hits.
He shouldn't have changed the dice.
Yeah.
I agree.
Dealing 6 slashing damage,
I heard half.
and then he slashes at you again
Okay.
Well, that one is not nearly as good, so that's going to miss.
Okay.
But then he will attempt to swing at you with
A dagger.
a dagger. That is an 18.
Shield of Faith! Oh, sorry. Shield of Faith! Cleric, save me!
All right. That
He
is
was
his turn.
saving our foes.
As he just kind of stabs in,
Saving the individual.
there's, he's just like
I have an energy shield.
an aura of protection that it gets under your guard, but then it just kind of stops, and he's like, "What the hell just happened?"
It's like the master. It's like Halo, like the. It's currently regenerating.
That bar goes, hallelujah!
Hallelujah!
All right, that brings us back to the top of the round.
Grumar, eat arrows as I fire another one at him. Oh wait, I gotta reroll that. 17 to hit.
17 hits.
Fuck yeah. And I just did max damage. So
Nice.
11 plus 6, 17 damage.
Nice. Yes, he's getting much battered and much bruised, and an arrow just pierces into his side, and he looks back like, "I'm gonna kill you, little one.
And
I'm gonna kill you all."
take a good 5 feet back.
Run before I kill you all.
Not running, just strategic reposition.
Right. That brings us to Farouk.
Death
and a death saving throw.
18.
That is
Two
a second
successes.
success.
Fire.
Seeing all of this go down and 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I get to Farouk?
Yeah, you can get to Farouk.
Yeah, get to Farouk. And I will fumble with some shit in my bag and pull out a healer's kit, and it's 1d6 plus 4
Plus character level.
plus 2, so that's good. 9, 11 healing from the healer's
That is a
kit.
crap ton of. That is a ridiculously overpowered.
Wait, you can only benefit from once per short rest.
Yeah, but still, it's a ridiculously powerful feat.
11.
Yeah, it's so good.
So yes, he
You put
just
that on
kind
the thief. The thief
force
becomes a
some
healer.
in.
And do I
What
does
is
that
this?
subtract off the negative that I have?
So
or
you are at
healer's feet,
0.
Healer's feet.
Okay.
Wait, so he doesn't come back with the 11?
So no,
No.
you start at 0 and then you add 11. So you're
Okay.
at 11.
Yeah.
Even though
And then
he did one more than I had.
Yeah.
Right.
Put me in
You
it.
don't go below
Okay.
0.
and then I can cast a cantrip, right? Still.
That's your action to do that.
Then I am.
No, 11's good.
Fuck. No, I'll stay right there. Yeah, I'll stay right there.
I imagine you're like patching him up and then
Yeah.
pouring a little sacramental wine. It's like
It's watered down.
How's Big Bad looking?
He's like,
the
some
blood
for
of
you,
Onak.
some for me.
The body of Onak. The blood.
Just
How-
cursing him
how's
just-
Big Bad
Oh,
looking?
he's has an arrow in him. He's
Looks pretty
looking
bad.
bad. There are gashes all over him. He's just
Risking it for the biscuit! Reckless!
take you down.
Alright, reckless attack, 23 to hit.
23 will hit.
8 damage.
8 damage. He's not looking quite that bad. But
Yeah.
Is that
Alright.
your turn?
Yep, that's my turn. And that's my... I think that's my 7th round of rage, so I only have like 3 rounds left.
Right, bringing us to Skwisgaar.
Alright, I'm going to take 1 step over and not fall down. I'll say, hey Grimlock, we had a name for you back home. It was S'more. Parting hands.
More burning hands.
It's 13 dex.
Let's see. You're gonna kind of have to choose between him and him. Okay, so
We got a thing going down, I guess.
All right. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna make her save.
well, he rolled the exact same thing as last time. So, how much damage?
That is 10.
As flames just like, swipe, just flow over. He's just like burning on fire for a second, and he's you think he's about to go down, but then he just grits his teeth furiously, and he's a half-orc.
I hate half-orcs. Do you Barclays fire someone?
I'm next.
Sorry, what's your name again?
Illian.
Sorry, what?
Illian.
Illian! Cut his balls off. Bardic Inspire.
Can I shoot him off instead?
Well, I think it's his turn now.
It is his turn.
So there, after that, I guess I'm kind of going like glowing, like in any video game robot, glowing red, critical health. I look really bad. Like really bad.
Remember, you are you're conscious, but you're still prone.
Oh, okay.
So he is actually going to attack the robot that's right next to him.
He does have advantage because I'm reckless.
Yep.
Roll low.
Well, that's a 20.
After 20?
No, not a natural 20. Just...
Oh, yeah. I have 1 health, so unless you can't somehow can deal only 1 damage to me, I'm good. I'm going down.
Well, that was 8.
Yeah, I'm going down.
Oh no.
As he slashes, he looks over at you, who's been doing all of this really annoying stuff, and he's going to
Yeah, we're not out of the woods yet.
No, I know.
step over. You may actually take an attack of opportunity if you wish, but you are prone, so you will have disadvantage.
Do it.
Well, why wouldn't I?
Do it.
Unless you're saving your reaction for something.
Do it.
He just kind of looks from your prone body.
Swing the leg.
17 plus 5.
Wow, it's a 19 and a 17 with his disadvantage.
Yep.
So
I just go for his leg.
as you know, he downs the robot, and then looks up to you fiercely, steps over, and then just like a dagger, just stabs into his calf from where Farouk on the ground.
For 5.
Oh, he only had 1 left.
Oh,
so,
okay.
So yes, how would you like to end this one
yeah,
as you're on the ground?
I just cut his Achilles tendon right in the back. Just
lethal or not lethal?
Told you should have surrendered. Oh no, lethal.
All right.
Yeah, no.
So yes, as you
dead.
slash,
There is no dead or alive. It's just dead.
You're down on the ground. You slash into him. This feels like tendon slicing as your blade just carves into his leg.
They just rubber band up to his thigh.
And he just screams and lets out this guttural scream, falls backwards, and then right next to you, you just plunge your dagger back into his throat, and blood just gashes out.
And with the confidence, I don't feel like I thought I was about to die.
12 points of healing to you.
Oh yeah.
There.
Yeah. If I was left to roll for death saves, I would have died unless except your bardic inspiration because I rolled below 10 on the first 3.
Oh jeez. 12 points of healing from the healer's feet for you, and I will spare the dying on Gumar. So we're gonna take him back alive.
No, we're not. We're killing him. We already said without his.
But he since he didn't do non-lethal, he automatically dies.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I assume you purposely tried to murder him.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, so it's like shank, and then you're like, wait, I'm going to spare the dying. And he's like, shank.
We made it clear he could have his. He had to have his head attached.
Yeah, the ward was saying dead or alive, right?
Yes.
They did.
Oh yeah.
You just
Wasn't
need
the
the head
reward more
intact.
for alive?
No,
No, that's
for
the other one.
Ember.
Yeah.
Right.
I am.
And since I'm assuming you're spending your next turn going over and helping
Yeah.
him, he definitely has time to make sure
Yeah, he
he's
does.
dead.
He does.
I'm
By the time you get to him, you realize spare the dying is not going
It's
to
not.
I want to go look at the boxes.
I want.
I'm gonna search
booze. I want ale. Whatever.
I'm gonna go check. Did we check the cart or is it empty?
It's empty.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
The cart
I will also.
I'm going to go peek over Farouk's shoulders.
Is
I'm
empty.
looking at a.
Is this?
Can I have those arrows? I need to recover some. So I'm halfway down.
This guy still? Is he still there?
Yeah, so he has
unconscious, or-
about 15 arrows on him. The other one also has about a 6.
21 plus
But you actually notice that. So we've got. I should say he's got 9 arrows in one quiver, and then a smaller quiver of just 6 arrows. And as you draw out these arrows, you look at them. They look particularly sharp and nasty.
They have a +1 written on them.
You just looking at them, just looking at how they are barbed, you think they would be particularly effective at piercing armor.
Ooh.
Got it.
I want to gather up all the bodies
9
and
of
put
them,
them in the cart.
So nine normal from him, 6.
So before we do that, I'm searching
No,
for
I'm specifically going back looking. Is this the one that I spared? Is he still there and unconscious, or did he?
He rolled a 2, an 8, and a 4 on his first 3 death saving throws. So he is dead.
I spared the dying on him before I went in.
You didn't manage to. I don't think you.
Well, then I definitely will be cursing this whole way.
But you tried.
I tried, but
So-
everyone makes slimy mistakes in this. I mean, they deserve death. I'm specifically cursing the slaughter effect.
But you tried to save him.
Yeah, that's
Your conscience is
in my
clean.
mind. In my mind, that's not good enough.
So Shard,
Yes.
as he, you are on the ground unconscious, and he comes over with his healing kit, and it's very strange. This like metal, or it's a mix of metal and organic.
And wood.
You want me to
And
make a
wood.
tinker's check?
And so you're healing. You're like, I think I can just patch this up here and patch this up here, and as you're lying there unconscious, everything's black until you get this strange, quick glimpse, the briefest glimpse of what seems to be a female face. Kind of golden hair, golden curly hair, smiling down at you. Until everything snaps back and you see his face looking down at you.
You're not a pretty lady.
What? Of course not. And I'll shut your chest compartment and help you back up. Then I'll help you gather the bodies.
Yeah.
Still cursing this whole slaughter fiasco, and I will probably go on a rant about how everyone deserves mercy and redemption and blah 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 blah. I probably would have enjoyed having a beer with a few of these guys, and they certainly did not want such slaughter, especially the one that died by my hand.
Did I recognize
back
the
to the
female with
two
golden
deputies.
hair, or just?
No, you did not.
Okay.
I do feel bad about them. I do.
What did Grunar have on him when I searched him?
Right. So he had a long bow. And, well, actually, he dropped the long bow as he pulled out a scimitar and a dagger. Other than that, it was...
How does the scimitar look?
It has seen better days. It's worn. Obviously, he has not been able to have it serviced by any competent blacksmith in a while. And right now, it is 9:38, and I think, did we want to... call there for now? And we can do all the looting and things.
Sure.
Well, you have all the characters on D&D Beyond. I think you can just literally just put stuff in inventory.
I can.
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah. I was like, the one thing I would, just for future, I would potentially like to gather up the things, even if the metal's bad. I could potentially scrap. I am a blacksmith, so I could potentially actually like maybe take 5 scimitars and make 1 good one. Or
So
something
that's
like that.
our game for this evening.
Yeah.
Thank you all for playing. And thank you all for joining. Goodbye.